Okay. I've grown impatient with my own waiting period. So I'm coming off of mute. So hi everyone. Okay, hold on just a second. Let me make sure I've got everything together. And I will check my sound one more time just because I'd be scared. Okay. Am I lagging that much? Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. Okay, the sound is there. Great. Hi, everyone. I know I'm early, but I see you guys talking about SVSSS, and I couldn't stay off. So anyway, I'm still gonna leave the window of time open. But hi, everybody. So let's see. You're talking about okay, so you said Udma Udma that it feels more like a fanfic, and you said it's all right. And if, as you said, you love them, fanfic kind of fits the story, to be fair. So I don't think the vibe is off. Hi. So okay, not gonna lie, I was talking to my Arha group chat about this because honestly, we weren't necessarily the happiest that there were chapters released about SVSSS, even though all of us in there love SVSSS so much. But if I haven't read it yet, but several of the others, they were like, it just feels like maybe over the past 10 years, MXTX has been reading all the fan fiction that other people wrote and then was like, I like this person's idea. I like that person's idea. Oh, I also like this person's idea, and decided to just like write something herself. And I've even watched videos on TikTok where people are like super excited about it and they're like, "Oh my gosh, all of our fan fiction has been confirmed." And I'm like, "Has your fan fiction been confirmed, or did she just like pull from your fan fiction?" I don't know. I mean, I'm not making any claims at all, but I just know that it just I don't know. There are many things that I had questions about and I felt like needed to be resolved with SVSSS. But hearing that there were more chapters released after 10 years, I was just kind of like, mm, I don't know. So I haven't read it yet. And I even thought about if I wanted to add it to the Patreon exclusive SVSSS reading, like after I finished the fourth book, which I have a little over 100 pages left. I would have been closer to done had I not fallen sick. But then I was like, I don't think I want to do that. I saw that Kicked to Reddit. Maybe I'll just go listen to her reading and double times the speed because I don't know if I feel like doing all of that. He said it's very meta, seems mostly to wrap up the plot. Yeah, I mean, because there were a lot of things that I feel like were left kind of up in the air. You know, like even something as simple as Luo Bingke being suspicious of his Shutsuan, because Shen Qingqiu always seemed to know certain things that he probably shouldn't know. Or even like Tianlong Jun pointed it out. He was like, you know more about this holy mausoleum than even I do. You know, so I felt like that was unresolved. I also just kind of, I mean, I know it isn't going to always be the case, but I felt like there needed to be a moment, which I know it's in the fanfic, someone spoiled it or whatever, but I felt like there needed to be a conversation between the two of them, like, hey, I'm actually not from this world. And then what was the other thing? Oh, yeah, just hashing out the whole conversation about that because the guy went from abusing him to then doting on him and then sending mixed messages. So I felt like in reality, I know it's not real, but in reality, the happily ever after needs to address that, which I heard it's addressed in there or whatever, but I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil anything. But hi. Yes, that's why I'm not saying anything. Also, I just haven't read it, so I don't know. And a modified version. She has translation linked to. I don't want to spoil anyone. Yo, hi Ritu. They changed their appointment. Oh, well, good. Hi, Cookielicious. Never ending story. Hi, Anne. Let me make sure I did say hi to everyone. Hi, Kai Kai. Hi, Freya. Hi, Gloritina. Nice to see you. And I'm also going to take the screen share off now because there's no need for that. Um, but yes, nevertheless, I don't think I'll read it myself. If I do check it out, probably just gonna listen to Kictor and listen to it in double speed because I'm I'm in book 4 and I'm kind of at that point where I want to be done. So I probably won't read anymore. You said now you're gonna have it stuck in your head. um, you said it was a snort laughing all the while, and it felt like it was part of a story for sure. Okay, that's good. That's really good. So, hi everybody. I hope you all are doing great. This is the best I felt in like an entire week, and I'm still not 100%. Um, yeah, I woke up Thursday and had a sore throat, and I was like, okay. Did I get a little too excited yesterday when I yelled a couple of lines when I was reading? And I didn't feel like I yelled. River Bay Road, that is. And then the next day, it just was completely awful. And I was like, oh, which really sucked because my godson was having his very first award ceremony. He was given an award he was student of the month in pre-K for being inspiring. And I wanted to be there for that, but I felt so awful. But I was like, I'm coming. And so his mom picked me up and she was like, you could have just stayed home. You look awful. And I was like, it's his first one. I can't miss his first event. But I should have. Because the next day she texted me that he was having a runny nose and then coughing and she was congested. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Nevertheless, because I thought it was just a sore throat, but it turns out it's something contagious. Like my husband passed it to me, then I passed it to them. Hopefully, it doesn't get too bad. And he actually thinks it's a new strand of COVID because he looked some things up, and I was just like, so I went from years of not getting COVID, being surrounded by people with COVID, not getting COVID, and then suddenly the craze for COVID is over, and I may have gotten it twice now. Oh my God. Also, I was just not very happy, but it is what it is. So he said, I'm a plague sower. I felt so, I was like, I'm so sorry. I would have stayed home if I thought it was more than a sore throat, if I knew it was contagious. I was like, oh my God. But I had to support my godson. Like, if I'd known, I would have maybe supported him at a distance, like, hey, I'm so proud of you, baby. But no, I went up and hugged him and I don't understand though, because his baby sister is 2, and I held her, and nothing was said about her or her dad because he was there too. I was just like, I don't know, but he said, glad I'm feeling better. I sound much better. That's good because I didn't know how I sounded like to you guys, but I just felt like I sounded awful. Um, you said, we were told we're going to get a revised edition of SVSSS in Polish version. Huh. So you wonder if they're going to put the new chapters in? Probably not. I think they would. Yeah, probably not. I don't think so. I sound a lot better indeed. Awesome. Just so you know, sometimes I might mute myself to cough because I don't really want the coughing all throughout the live. And I've got me a whole stack of tissue in case I need it. Because I was like, I am not missing this live. I had multiple conversations with my body, like, hey, we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary for this Danmei book club. Like, I can't postpone. I'd be so upset. Don't plague us through the screen. I just huffed it to my mic, so just kidding. I'm just kidding. Please don't get sick. Please, please. And so, anyway, I've got my necessities. I've got 20 beside me, my tissue. I've got my lovely humidifier blowing behind me. So all should be well as we go throughout this. So Anyway, yes, again, welcome everyone. I am, oh my gosh. Honestly, this year flew by, which is crazy because it also feels like it took forever. But it was like one day YouTube was just like, hey, it's your 1 year anniversary. And I was like, it is? Okay, cool. So I'm very excited because I didn't even realize or even think about the fact that I made it over 1,200 subscribers before 1 year. Which is amazing because I had a YouTube channel before where I was doing, it was called Cause It's Vegan. Then I changed it to Cause It's Veggies, whatever. And I was very diligent in that. And I didn't get to 1,000 in a year. Anyway, this is exciting. I'm super excited. I am super grateful to every single one of you that have ever even come onto my channel. Even if you didn't subscribe, I'm just happy to be here with you guys because again, I mean, I say it all the time. This is not a place I expected to be. This is not something I anticipated doing in my life. And it started out as just me wanting to share Danmei with you guys because I love it. And I was like, yeah, this is a little side thing I can do because it's fun. And it went from me thinking like, oh, I don't, which I still don't, like the money isn't the most important thing. But it went from me being like, oh, I got my job. So this is whatever it is to now, like I'm considering like shifting my focus. Like actually, I'm not considering, I am shifting my focus because I got a promotion at my job and I realized I don't like the promotion. So I'm going to ask for a demotion at some point when things here and on Patreon get to a point where I feel like I can snip snip and be like, yeah, can I train someone to take my position because I don't want it anymore. Like, but anyway, you said you've got a cold too. I'm so sorry to hear that. When you strike a niche, I mean, yeah, and everybody, like, not everybody, but everybody wants Danmei because it's so out there, but at the same time, so not. Like I'm a part of a group, a Facebook group, even though I'm not involved in it, with over 250,000 people. But then when making a post like, hey, who's in Georgia? Only 3 people are in Georgia, So it's like we're all over the freaking place. And yes, it's exploding and it's crazy. And I'm just happy to be part of this community. So anyway, yes, welcome you all. Thank you all so much for your support on YouTube and or on Patreon. It's just been an incredible journey. And we've got things to do today. So originally we were only going to do Danmei Bingo, a Q&A, and then a reading. However, I added another game of this or that, just something quick and sweet. He said offers tissues to Utma. Code suck. Been around since your first live. Yes. Heart. Heart, heart, heart. Yes. And so yeah. Hold on, what is this? Oh, okay. I also ordered some more Danmei. Speaking of, I got to pick them up from the store later. I think I ordered the first book of Copper Coins and volume 3 of Legend of Exorcism because Books A Million is having a buy one, get one 50% off. And I was like, hey, for Black Friday. So, hey, okay. Anyway, any path you choose, I support you and wish you the best of luck. Oh my gosh, I'm really thankful to you and your videos. I'm obsessed with little fish. Oh, yes. Disabled Tyrant's beloved pet fish is awesome. And thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Like, I don't know, like, just things life just takes you to unexpected places. You just never know where you're going to go, even when you think you have a plan. But I have to say, like, growing up, I always had a plan. Like, I knew I wanted to be a singer-songwriter and perform, and I was in music all my life, went to school for music education, and I was like, yeah, and writing music and stuff like that. And then things changed, and I was like, no, I'm going to start a jewelry business with my mother. And then I was like, no, I'm going to be an English teacher. Then I was like, um, I'm going to be an English teacher as a foreign language. Plans. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to school and finish getting my degree. And I'm not going to have a plan. I think I know what direction I want to go in, but I'm not going to have a plan this time. I'm just going to let things happen as they happen. Hi, Rubies. Nice to see you. And so, yeah, you said, no, why does the stream keep freezing on me? I reset it twice. It keeps freezing? Oh, no. Is it freezing for anyone else? Because it looks stable and steady to me. Because, I be having the stuff up now to check and make sure. Maybe your internet connection is bad. I'm not blaming it on myself this time. Okay. You said you got pushed by the power of Yanush. Yours is fine. Okay. So it might just be your internet, Kai Kai. I don't know. Switch. Everyone else's is good. Okay. So if your internet's not working, switch to cellular data if you can or something. I don't know. But so yeah, this time I haven't had a plan. And it feels good to not have a plan, which to some people may sound crazy, but like you don't have to have your life all planned out. You can just move and do things. And then at some point, some things will start clicking into place. And then you can make a plan. You know, you said, I was always curious how authors feel about web novel being published unedited as actual novels. I bought TGCF, but in Chinese. LOL, might be Chinese learning materials, beautiful books. They are beautiful. I have them as well. And actually, I bought the Chinese books, which I think I put on a video before, and I bought the manhwas, but I'm not up to date. I think I need to buy the fifth and sixth one. But at that point, I would literally just be buying them to collect because I'm not reading them. And they are in Chinese. Even though I know they're doing the English versions now, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick to the Chinese version. No plan is freeing, but also stepping off into the void is hard. Proud of you. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's very freeing, and it just allowed me to breathe because I always felt like I had to have things put together and have things figured out because of the pressure I received from my mother, because she grew a lot of millennials parents, they had to grow up faster than necessary, or they should have. They had to grow up before they turned 18, and it was one of those things where on one hand my mom would like support me in whatever I do and say I don't have to have it all figured out, and like, look at me, I'm 40 years old and I just figured out I want to do this and that. But then on the other hand, I always felt pressured by her, like to have to know what it was that I was doing, to have to be like her and be solid and be wise and have great discernment and know what I'm doing and stick to it and this and that. And so it was just like this contradictory feeling, and it was overwhelming. And so now that I just have all of it off my shoulders, I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Or I do know what the hell I'm doing. I just don't know where the hell I'm going with it. But as long as I know what I'm doing, I think that's the most important thing. Yeah, just taking a leap of faith, You bought like 3 books in a box set. Our parents' generation is collectively strange. Yes. I was talking to my husband about that because I was like, like in our generation of parents, I have not really heard of or seen any good examples of good relationships or like marriages, and it's very trying because we millennials and younger are really trying to pull out of the generational curses, if you will, of our predecessors. We're really trying to be more conscious of things and to live better lives. But it's just so hard to carry that burden, that pressure on us because a lot of us didn't get good examples, of how to tackle these things. So you said I can send pics and community. Yes, please put pictures in the community. I wish you guys would use the community more, by the way. Just to see what you guys are up to. Like, ask questions of me or of each other, post pictures, post your artwork, all of that stuff. It would be really cool. And so, anyway, you said me trying to write healthy characters. Also me. But how? Oh, Udma. So the community is on YouTube, and basically it's only accessible through the app. So really quickly, I'm going to show you. Um, hold on. when you go to the app and you click on like any YouTuber's profile, you'll see where it says visit community. So then you can click on that. And that's where it'll show any posts that I make, like regular posts, not video posts. You can also, I guess, click specifically on creator posts or just newest. And you'll be able to write whatever you want. Right now, I'm on a different profile, not my actual profile. But if you scroll, you'll see all the posts I made. I'm trying to go to a post someone else made, but it's been a minute. Like, people have asked me questions and I've answered them on there. Oh yeah, like, so here's one from a month ago from someone saying, "Hey, you plan on reading Peerless Volume 5?" But yeah, it only works on mobile, which I think is stupid. I feel like it should also work on the laptops or other devices as well, but who am I? I guess I don't know anything. Um, but yeah, I've had some people post some things like a while ago in the community. It's been some time. I can't find them. Anyway, that's it. You said it only works in mobile. No, the community post. Yes, only on mobile. Why did I never notice that? Because I don't think they like made an announcement about it. I happened upon it accidentally, which is how, I was finally like, "Hey, there's a community thingy here." Cuz they didn't notify anybody. It was just there one day. And I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, there's that. You guys can post in there, ask questions, post your artwork, post what you're up to. I don't know, literally anything. Doesn't matter. So anyway, I guess we can go ahead and get started, if you will. We've already started, but we can begin with a Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat and I will answer as we go along. But while I wait for you guys to answer questions, last time we came on here on live, I think it may have just been Patreon, but I showed my knitted teddy bear. This is Nova, the unicorn. She was made by this lady I ran across in, I guess, some like arts plaza. It was outside of a whole plaza of clothing stores and a lot of people who were selling their own things, their own body butters and stuff. And she was selling these, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so cute." But I said that I would show my other ones. So I have my cow, Atlas. He's got his little travel bag with him to go wherever it is he's going. Isn't he so adorable? Look at this tail. Oh my gosh. It's so cute. And then this is Nebu, the elephant. Isn't it so cute? This lady is seriously talented. I was like, "Oh my gosh. She might take all of my money, but I've been a good girl. I've been a good girl. Any other new teddy bears I've gotten, it's because my husband bought them, not because I bought them. Although he bought all of these too. So yeah, I've been a very good girl. Um, you said, yeah, we are the first generations to have the opportunity to see how it might be and do something about it instead of letting it automatically be done by generation trauma curse. Exactly. You said missed it. They're all cute. Atlas has, I know, it's so cute, right? I was like, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it's so cute. You know, the elephant was an octopus? No, it's an elephant. Okay, see? Okay. I don't think it has it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I could see. Poor little, it's okay, Nepo. We know you're an elephant. I'll tap your little bum bum like you're a baby. So, yeah, that's so funny. But what was I saying? It was before you showed it. Oh, when it was just sitting off to the side. Gotcha. So anyway, but yeah, we are trying to change things up, because we're tired of doing the same old, as the people before us. And it's It's a heavy burden to bear, but at the same time, it's totally worth it to be free and to set a better example for those coming after us. And of course, it won't be everybody. You said me managing to take pics of merch. Asian merch is top tier. Missed trauma, lol. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just gonna ramble about whatever literally comes into my brain, which, I don't know. So I do want to say for today's reading, I do have the link in the description. So if you guys want to read along, you can do that. But I also did want to ask, because I actually printed it out so that I could read from here. But I wanted to know, would you guys rather I just share my screen and read from the screen, or is it okay if I read from the paper? So just answer that for me. Which Danmei story made you cry the most? Oh my God. Let's talk about the only Danmei that ever made me cry. The one that made me cry the most is the only Danmei that has ever made me cry, and that is you. From what we saw, it was you. Yes. Because I definitely cried on our live sessions, like, oh my God. Screen share? Okay. You was just, it was a lot. I've read some pretty disturbing and sad things in Danmei before, but I still didn't cry. Like, even reading about Shelian and what happened to him and the sword, I'll leave it at that just in case, it spoils anyone. That didn't make me cry. Even reading Arha and the most devastating scene for me, which happened in volume 9, I believe, did not make me cry. You remnants of filth. I just feel like Meat Bum was like, you haven't cried while reading Danmei yet? Okay. I'm up to the task. Because I cried. I think I started crying in volume 2. The only other I don't think I cried in volume 5. But 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, it's just tears every single book. And I was just like, Meat Bun, why are you doing this to me? Please don't do this to me. You said you would just hits differently. Yes, it does, with how frustrating it is. And I think the other thing for me is the fact that I was reading it out loud. So I imagine if I were to read Arha or TGCF or any of the other devastating Danmei that I've read out loud and try to be the characters like I do on this channel, I'd probably cry. I mean, Yuwu was just very relatable for me, and it was at a very vulnerable time, because I had lost my grandpa, or before I lost him, he was struggling to live for a century, and then he finally passed. So it helped me grieve him, and it was just a very sensitive time. So that was what it was. You said you're heartless. Did you not cry at all? Oh God. I mean, it's fine if you don't cry. Like, some people don't cry when they read. I mean, I ultimately was not a person to cry when I read. Other than you, there are only 2 other instances in my life of reading in which I have cried. The first time was reading Night by Ellie. Hold on, I'm going to figure it out. Night by Ellie Weasel. Yes. And this was, I believe, an autobiography or something like that on his Holocaust experience. I cried for that. It was in the 9th grade. I was a sensitive little girly, and my mother was mad at me for crying about it, but not crying about Black slaves. So whatever. And then you said you cried. And then the only other time I cried is when I read Colleen Hoover, It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us. And that's just because it was triggering because of the domestic abuse, which I was not informed about because there were no trigger warnings on the site on Amazon. I got them off Amazon. There were no trigger warnings on Amazon. There were no trigger warnings in the book. And I was caught completely off guard. So I was just like, oh, okay. And then I heard from other people that this was like a constant theme in her books. And I was like, oh, I won't be reading any more of her books, I see. So I let it go. You cried more in You Believe than any other Danmei altogether. If I read When Moon Strikes, I cry. I can watch the soapiest of soaps and cry if the mood strikes. So, well, I'm a crybaby when it comes to watching stuff for sure. Absolutely. Just let the tears roll. But yes, that is Utma Utma. That is the Danmei story that made me cry the most. And still, arguably, one of my favorite Danmei. I can't even remember where I placed it on the spectrum as far as order. I'm trying to see where would I find that because I don't remember. No, because it wasn't number one. Everybody knows what my number one favorite Danmei is at this point. At least I believe. If you don't, get to know. Oh, it's number two. Yes, you is number two, which is crazy because, man, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the more and more Danmei I read, the harder it gets. But it is what it is. He said, we all know. Colleen Hoover traumatized you. Yes, I was very, very traumatized. Thousand Autumns, exactly. Yeah. And that was like I said, those were the first books that I read by her because I don't know how I came across them at all, actually. How did I come across them? I don't remember. And I just gave him a shot. And so the crazy thing, because I know a lot of people don't like Colleen Hoover, and I can't really speak because I've only read two of her books and they were in one series. But they don't like her books because they feel like she glorifies abusive relationships or something like that. But one thing that I can say about It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us is I personally believe that it was well written from the abused person's point of view. To me, nothing was glorified in any kind of way because like when I first read it and she first interacted with the guy, from their very first interaction, I was suspicious of him, not thinking down the abuse lane, but I was like, he's already disrespected a boundary that you just set. I don't like him. But it was written so well from the female's perspective that I started to feel like I became her. And so all of the warning signs that I had seen, I kind of let them go because I was reading as the main character, you know, and when the stuff happened, it took me by surprise. Meanwhile, had I kept on my Kamaria brain, my Mari brain, that wouldn't have happened. But I got immersed in the character. And so that's why I was taken by surprise. And I was like, shit, oh my God. And I started crying. I cried multiple times. I threatened the book that I would not finish it. And I was like gonna chuck it across the room and everything. It was just, oh my God, it was just. But so yeah, I personally enjoyed those books. That's just me. Am I gonna read any more of her books? No, because that's just the topic I don't care to venture on. So I am the one who cried from pain or happiness and simply um, out of big emotions, but you hits different with how emotionally exhausting it is. I am still not fine thinking about those feelings. Yes. You said, even though Meat Bun is relentless, even though reading after it healed me, now I'm pissed she couldn't write this story the way she wanted. You need more fluff to buffer the misery. You know, it's crazy because we can rant about it a little bit now that I feel better. But I feel like even though I was not happy with the way the story ended, River Bay Road was the perfect amount of nonsense and fluff that I needed to like get myself over you. Mm, because it really was just, I don't know. River Bay Road, book one was good. Was it great? No, but it was good. Book two, I don't know. I was very upset, you guys, with the ending. So upset that I was like, screw doing the book review. But I was just so mad how everything just got thrown into the pot in the last 100 pages. It was like, yeah, just stir up the pot, stir up the pot. And um you said lagging, but to be fair, Colleen Hoover is a trigger warning. Yes. Let me make sure. Okay. But yeah, it just not up to expectations, not at all. And I think it's just because it needed more time. Like literally all of this stuff happened. There was the stuff with Jung Wei-tzu that happened, right? And then there was the stuff that happened with Zhang Yuan and Hua Chun. And mind you, this stuff happened with Hua Chun and Zhang Yuan. Zhang Yuan goes home and has his, crying fest and thinking about his life and how he was lying to or deceiving or whatever. And then the next day, this man wakes up and is like, okay, I'm going to buy this publishing house, which I figured that would happen. That's not an issue. But he was like, okay, I'm going to transfer all this money to my wife because my wife's a little prideful. He's a little headstrong. Aren't all men prideful? And I was just like, less than 24 hours later, like we good already? I'm sorry, what? Didn't you originally say after 4 years maybe you would put his name on the on River Bay Road number 7? Now you're paying off all his debts. I was like, what is happening? Way too fast. And then I was so upset with Fei Tian Yashang. Someone on Patreon said that I was such a Hua Chun and Zhang Yuan hater. And here's my thing. It's not that I was a hater. It's the fact that for so long, Zhang Yuan wasn't even sure. And because he was not sure in his relationship, why was I finna be confident? I wanted to ship with him with Yanjun really, really bad. And so I did. They were the only ship that I had. And so when they finally confirmed their relationship, I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm fine with it now. But then all that crap happened. And then the nerve of Fei Tian Yashang to at the end have him looking at a Yanjun looking at a photo at the resort. And then Shen Yingjia, whatever his name is, like, who's that? And he doesn't answer. I was like, okay. So Fei Tian, you've been playing all along with Yanjun and my feelings. And then you slide that in at the end as well. So I'm almost certain that Zhang Yuan and Yanjun actually met when they were kids as well. Anyway, I'm kind of upset. Someone had mentioned that maybe, Anne, it was you, I don't know, but mentioned that they wish we got more out of Yanjun's story, which I do as well, because we just got him, like when we first met him, he seemed like this very discerning guy, very reserved, and even smart enough to help Chun Hong with his business. But I feel like by the end, he was just reduced to the guy that really loved Zhang Yuan but didn't get Zhang Yuan. And I really like it. You said the author literally threw too much in the last chapters. It was rushed. Exactly. It was like I went from being bored to being overwhelmed. Like when I said I was bored, I didn't mean throw all the cheeses in the pot. I did not want you to melt them all together. That was way too much. You said, but you already shared your emotional roller coaster the other day. Yes, on Patreon. My brain did not vibe. I need ship sailing or plotting. Exactly. And like there was no plotting, so I needed the ship sailing, and they were kind of sinking just a little bit. There was one person though who mentioned on my Patreon that they were happy with the ending, which I was glad. I'm glad that you enjoyed this. I always want people to enjoy. So if you get joy out of it, great. But they said that their struggle was um shipping everybody. Like who's going to end up with who because everybody was in the house, and so they felt relieved with how things ended and there only being like one main ship. And I thought that was an interesting perspective. And I was like, I get that. And I could respect that. Although I'll say for me personally, I didn't really have that struggle of like trying to ship everyone together because I just didn't see anyone fitting together except for Jung Yuen and Yen Jun. So my brain already told me that like everybody else, if they became couples with people, it was going to be people outside of number 7 River Bay Road, because definitely Jung Wei-ta and Chang Jing-sing were not getting together. And who was Chang Jing-sing going to get with? And Chun Hong, he got together with Mr. Elite. So it is what it is. Meanwhile, Yan Jun is the only one alone. And he had to deal with that problem at the end, with his mother. And that's the other thing I kind of hated. Like, we knew it was going to come eventually, but it just kind of felt so lackluster. Not even going to lie. Yeah. I don't know. It was just such a letdown. You said it needed at least one more volume. Yeah, just one more. It could have been a small one and we would have been happy. River Bay Road is ship graveyard. The syndrome of the protagonist ending up with a more boring love interest when they have more chemistry with another character. Pretty much. Pretty much. Did Netflix... No, they didn't. Wait, what? And so there was something else I wanted to say about River Bay Road, but I don't remember. Oh, Jung Wei-ta. So out of everything that happened in volume 2, I was very, very invested in his story. And I want to premise this by saying I am not making any claims. I am not stating anything as fact. I am presenting everything as a question, as me imploring, asking, and just as not even a theory, but a possibility. Because there was just so much when it came to Jung Wei-ta's character. So, and I wanted more. Someone on TikTok said they feel like the author did him dirty. I don't think they did him dirty. I just think Arise Jong didn't do him justice by giving him more. So my thing is, with Jung Wei-ta, we had him growing up in a home with his 2 sisters and his mother because his dad was always away sailing. And he told his story to Chang Jing-sing saying that he always wanted to be a girl. And he would, dress up with his sisters and all of that stuff. And eventually, he got bullied for dressing up like a girl outside and everything. But then we have the whole thing with him having his regular live stream channel and his I'm a Girl live stream channel where he used the voice distortion and everything. And he said, it was a lot easier for him to do that one. And he even went through struggles of like, oh, right, I'm a boy. And, he said he even took, I think he called them titty Skittles, to get estrogen for a while when he was younger, but he got found out and so he stopped. And then he was like, I don't really want to transition to a girl because I don't really feel like I'm a girl, but at the same time it's easier to be a girl. And so I don't know, it just made me question a lot because I know that there are a lot of people in the world who, when they're younger, they have certain ways, they do certain things that are disapproved by their parents because, oh, that's too girly, or oh, that's too boyish. Like, even when I went to a book fair with my godson, there was a little girl with her mom, and she was like, what do you want? And the little girl picked something with a football on it, and she was like, a football? You can't have that. And then she picked something else that was boyish, and she was like, no, you can't have that. And so my question, or something that I was just imploring on, because I've talked about it before, like with my sister, and that I wonder, not all transgender people, or maybe even any, but I'm just wondering if sometimes, if people end up feeling like they're in the wrong body, not because they're actually in the wrong body, but simply because of the rejection that they faced when they were younger. And so Jung Waita is like the perfect example of that, because he was doing all of these things and it was disapproved. And he also mentioned, like I said, that it's easier for him to be a girl because he was rejected always as a boy. And so I just was wondering if, for sometimes for transgender people, if a boy wearing a dress when he was a little kid or playing with dolls, if that was accepted, if he would have grown up to think, oh, I must be a girl, or if he would think, I'm a boy who likes to wear dresses, or I'm a boy who likes to play with dolls. And same with, someone who was born biologically female to say, I'm a girl who likes to play sports. So that was just something that I thought about, because I feel like that's what was being posed in River Bay Road, but it didn't go anywhere, and even Jung Waita was confused, and he was like, I don't even know what I am at this point. And Chang Jingxing was like, you're Jung Waita, like that's all that matters. Whoever you are, just be you. But that was just something that I wondered about. Again, not posing anything as a fact, not trying to be offensive or like downplay anyone's personal journey or story, but I'm asking a question or posing something because I myself am ignorant. I am not around a lot of transgender people. Honestly, I'm not around a lot of people, period. But it's just something I thought about, because especially as children, we are very impressionable when we are young, and we form our opinions and thoughts and stuff based on the people around us and how they react. So that was just the question that I had. Don't know. Doesn't matter. That's the only thing on number 7 River Bay. It's not called number 7 River Bay Road. River Bay Road Men's Dormitory. Jung Wait's story. That was something that I wanted more of, to just see where things went for him, especially after he got his job for the fashion thing. I was like, okay, that's something that interests him. I'd like to see him be successful at something that he enjoys, but we didn't get to see that. So anyway, you said, yeah, boxes be boxes, but people are a spectrum and people should be supported to explore and change. Absolutely. And especially like with so many things in this world, we're like, oh no, you can't do that because that's what boys do or that's what girls do. But when you look at the actual history, it was flip-flopped. Like now, well, I don't think it's as big of a thing anymore, but there was a point where they're like, oh my gosh, teaching is a girl's job, not a man's job. Meanwhile, teachers started off as men because women weren't even allowed to learn, or something like high heels. Oh, men shouldn't wear high heels. That's a woman's thing. They were actually invented for men. And men even wore them, especially in the old days when they were acting in plays and they would dress as the woman. Like, what do you mean? Or in certain cultures where a beautiful man, like in China, was something to be marveled at. It's like okay. So anyway, you said my favorite toy was a Mack truck and my favorite color was pink when I was 3. Nice. Pink was also my favorite color until I forced it to change. Don't ask. You said, I think Nimona does a good job at explaining the experience as far as I'm able to understand it. Is this a person on YouTube? You said you agree as a non-binary. Maybe it's my POV, but I think we as a society care about gender too much. Like most of the time, it really doesn't matter. It matters when you need meds or something. We probably wouldn't experience that much gender dysphoria, etc., if people around wouldn't put other people in boxes. The fact that we want long hair doesn't make you a girl, and so on. Oh, it's an animated movie on Netflix. Okay, cool. I'll try to remember that. Nimona. Where can I write that? Nimona on Netflix. But yeah, that is Ritu, exactly what you said is exactly what I told my sister. I was like, again, not stating anything as fact because I haven't studied this far, but I definitely feel like we wouldn't have as much gender dysphoria if people were accepted for liking the things that they liked when they were younger. You know, there was like, I remember there was a point of time where we just had like a lot of cross dressing. That was a thing. Now I feel like it's not a thing anymore. And if a guy is wearing girls' clothes, then, you know, he's identifying as a girl. But but again, I don't claim anything because I don't know anything, you know. You say, yeah, give me men and eyeliner. Oh, yes, and long hair. Yes, sometimes I'm like, husband, I think you should grow your hair long. I just want to see what it looks like, you know, because long hair on men, chef's kiss. Oh my God. Oh God, you said random cussing. Pink used to be my favorite color, but little me switched it to black just because my older sister said it was her favorite. I switched my favorite color to purple because my mother said purple was her favorite color. And she would always be like, you know, it represents royalty and all of this and that. And I was like, well, it's my mom's favorite color. And I want to make sure that I'm like my mom. So purple. Like I literally made myself hate pink. I used to love pink so much that when I was younger, at one point, I even drank Pepto Bismol just because it was pink. That was not good. Anyway, literally watch Fangs of Fortune just for great wigs and eyeliner. I need to watch that. Why can't we just be persons, individuals with our own preferences? That's all. I agree. I mean, of course, when we are born, we have certain genitalia and stuff like that. But I just feel like we shouldn't sexify. I'm making this word up. We shouldn't put gender labels on everything, every activity, everything that we do. Like, oh, if you play if you play drums, then you need to be a guy. Like, why can't a girl play drums? You know, if you play the bass, you need to be a guy. If you're playing the piano, you need to be a girl. If you're really good at math and science, you need to be a guy. But if you're good at English, you know, it's just like, why do we need to put gender labels on everything? Why can't things we do just be things we do? Why do we have to stir the pot like this? I don't like it. Because society needs to show loyalty to a group. Sorry. It's okay. Many girls at least at school, I was like, who liked to do what boys did? Yeah. Like I like to do things that boys did too. I used to play video games with my brothers whenever we were together. I loved it, you know? Like, hey, and I played video games with my cousin, like Splinter Cell and other fighting games. Love that stuff. Didn't make me like, it wasn't like, oh, that's a boys thing. You shouldn't be doing that. Says who? Says who? So even sillier labels, like I didn't fit with any subcultures because I didn't fit fully with anyone. Story of my life, actually. I didn't fit in. Like I wasn't lame. Like people knew who I was, but I didn't really fit in. And I honestly didn't even care. I think the only person I wanted to fit in with was my mother, to the degree that I didn't really care if I was popular or not. But when I think about it, I'm like, oh, no, I didn't really fit in at all. But that's okay. So, I think we have what, 10 more, we can talk for 10 more minutes and then we'll play a game because I almost lost track of time. Anyway, so yes, any other questions that you guys have, or maybe just one, depending on how long it takes me to answer, because I feel like I definitely went on a tangent somewhere. I don't know. Discovering Danmei is my fit in feeling. You know what? Yes. Yes. This is where I fit in. So you gotta worry about nothing else. Where do I fit in? Right here. That's it. So yeah. I'm trying to think while I give you a second to ask a question if you want. Just making sure my humidifier is still working. Um, so yeah, as far as Astrolabe Rebirth, though, since I mentioned Fei Tian Yashang, I am happy that the tone is different. You know, like I wasn't gonna rule Fei Tian Yashang out just because I didn't like River Bay Road, because it's a completely different genre, so everyone could have their niche. It's just like me when I did music. If I did, which I did rap once, but if I did rap, it's not going to be as good as when I just do my regular singer songwriter stuff, because that's my niche, not this, or if I try to do some rock, it's not going to fit as well as when I did whatever the hell my genre was. You said, around here, I'm the weird one. LOL. Yes. When I found the fandom, that's when it felt like I fit in for the first time. Yeah. Ever been caught reading Danmei in public? Define caught, because I've definitely read Danmei in public. I don't think I've ever been caught reading Danmei in public, but I have been caught with Danmei merch in public. Obviously, right now I have the great Katsuki Bakugo on my phone as my phone case, but at one point I had Hua Chang and Shilian, and I went to the bookstore. I mean, not the bookstore, UPS. And a girl was like, "Oh my gosh, I read that book," or like the first two or so. And I was like, "You did, girl. Did you like it?" It was so funny. So we talked about it for a bit, and I was trying to convince her to finish reading it. But other than that, no, I've never been caught. Now, what I have done is stupidly decided to read Arha in public during during a spicy scene. And you know what? I see a lot of times where there are videos and it's like a woman got her headphones in and she's listening to this like really spicy scene with a straight face. I could not. I could not keep a straight face. I was like, oh, oh, oh. I was like, okay, maybe I should put this away for now. Which is crazy because I can read spicy stuff in public. I've done it before. But that day I was just like, oh. So, oh gosh. When I was a kid, I didn't mind not fitting in that much because I was busy reading books. Hey, oh, little Hua Chung Fox and winning on my phone. Yes. He said, "Where's my pearls to clutch at?" Yeah, I needed something because I was like, just another pick player. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. It's nice to see you. We're just chatting for about 6 more minutes before we start playing a game, or maybe we'll just get started with the game. I don't know, but yes. So no, never caught reading Danmei. I need to actually go out and read more in order to do that. I typically read at home. Um, there was a period where I would sometimes walk to Starbucks to sit and read because Starbucks was really close. But now where we live, no, I'm not doing it. Historical Danmei, they have everything. Various of genders, preferences, pure psychology, society analysis, interesting plot, good non-hetero romance, magic, beautiful fights, animations, music. Yes, all of that. And that's my cup of tea. Like, even as I'm reading Astrolabe Rebirth, and I do like it, I do realize that I have a strong bias for the historical. Strong bias for the historical. Reading on a phone or an e-reader would wreck. I don't know. Are you asking me a question? There's no question mark at the end, so I'm not quite sure. But I'm going to say, honestly, I recommend both. I mean, it depends on what you like to hold in your hand. Like for me, I have a Kindle. I also have an iPad. But a lot of times I read on my phone just because it's really convenient to have one hand swiping through everything. But A couple times I've read on my Kindle. I don't even know why I have that Kindle. I barely use it. So, but yes, if you like something a little bigger and you want to use both hands, then I recommend the e-readers. But you can use your phone. You said fist bumps too. MXTX got me into the historical and fantasy stuff. Yes. So where are we? Historical wuxia. Wait, what's high fantasy again? Xianxia. Xianxia. Oh, I meant like if people want to read in public, I do both. Oh, okay. You do both. Okay. Yes. I read on my phone all the time. I read my fan fiction on my phone. I don't know, it's just really convenient to take around because normally I leave the house with not much but my phone, my keys, and my wallet. Sometimes my keys and my wallet. Not all the time if I'm going out with my husband. If you could live in any Danmei world for a day, which one? Not you. Definitely not you. I cannot. Mm, that's a great question. You said Riverside because it's the safest, right? It's not gonna be there. I'm gonna say, I want to say Thousand Autumns. Oh my god, I got pegged for Thousand Autumns. It would probably be Thousand Autumns because I would want to be a part of a sect and learn to fight. It's either that or the scum villain self-saving system. Hear me out. I really just like the world of scum villain self-saving system. So I would like to see all the different types of demons and the different types of monsters. I think it would be so cool. And then I feel like I'm not a gossiper in real life, but just throw me in a Danmei book and I'm gonna become a gossiper. because because I would want all the tea from all the sects, especially Tongtong Mountain sect. Give me the tea. Okay. So yes. So yeah, either Thousand Autumns, Scum Villain Self-Saving System, or Devil Venerable also wants to know. I think that would be a cool world to be in as well. Let's see. I've started to. It's a game changer at work. Wait, did I miss something? Yesterday, I was talking with my bestie about it. As teens, we thought that there is no life after Witcher. He said, Mari Chan fanfic. I got reincarnated as Yen Witcher's lapels. Please. Please. I'm your biggest fan. It was just crazy because in my Danmei harem, I would still pick Shen Qiao over Yen Wuxia, but but I love Yen Wuxia so much. You need to finish Thousand Autumns. Yes, you do, and that's how you found my channel. Yay! Please finish it. Oh my god, it's peak. I love it so much, and it gets so much hate. It's so much flack, but oh, it's so freaking good. It's so good. Yes, Peak Lord T. Yes. And if you guys haven't noticed, like on my Patreon, my um my tiers are based on SVSSS. So yes, I would love to be transmigrated to SVSSS world all day, every day. Please. Okay. Um, you said Munchie Sure world sounds better than absolutely. It's safer in Munchie Sure's world. You'll be nicer to Shen Qiao. I will. Shen Qiao is my little baby. Oh my gosh, I love him so much. You know, the crazy thing is, when I made my Danmei harem with a couple friends, I was like, I don't even want to be with these men for real. Like, I would bring all of their mates to be in the harem as well because I just want to see them in action. Like, I just want to see them interact with each other. Like, that's all I want because it would be so cool. Like, um, you said you'd never go to historical because you'd be pushed into a field somewhere. There's starvation in Thousand Autumns. Yes, there is. There's starvation where we are right now. So it's okay. That's totally okay. Yes, they do have cannibalism. That is a bit concerning. I'm hoping I would transmigrate as somebody with the spiritual core. Somebody who can cultivate. Then I don't have to worry about the cannibalism. Okay. You said you'd be one of those peasants. Oh my God. Oh, you would die from human face disease or something like that. Just kill someone. Then you'll be fine. Right? So I think now is a good time for us to go ahead and play Danmei Bingo. So, as you all know, I gave you 4 different bingo boards to choose from. You can play with all of them. You can play with some of them. You can play with, 2, just one. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to go ahead and get started. What kind of offering would you give to Wally? Oh, God. Are you asking me or are you asking Never Finished Story? I came late, but came right on time. Thousand Autumns is the best. Yes, it is. And it doesn't matter that you came late. All that matters is that you came. I'm so happy to see you here. Smut fanfic. I love smut. Smut is amazing. So, you said sounds like a chance to pierce Shillian. Who said that? Don't pierce him. Pierce someone else. Okay. So we're going to play Danmei Bingo. I don't know if you guys printed out your sheets or if you got it up on your device or something like that, but I'm just going to wait for you guys to say like ready or something like that, and then we'll get started. Hold on. I said you don't make the rules. Ready and waiting. Okay, cool. I see one ready. No, Shillian. Let's leave Shillian alone. He's already been through enough, okay? He's been through so much. He was just trying to live his best life. That's all he was trying to do. I'm also going to share my screen because I'm going to play with you guys. But I'm only going to show like one thingy. You said I'm here like bingo, LOL. Also, this is my little makeshift box to flip the things around it. So we'll just play a couple rounds of it and then we can move on to this and that. So yes, obviously, if you get bingo, please put in the comments that you got bingo. And then we can start over or keep going. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, let me I'm supposed to be sharing my screen so that I can play along. I think I'll use Danmei board 4 for myself. Hopefully I'll win. Not that it matters if I win. So you guys can't see my last 3 slots, but that's okay. You say you have to go now. You have an exam tomorrow. Good night. Good night. I wish you the best. I hope you do great on your exam. What's the subject? If you can tell me before you leave. But if not, then still, I wish you all the best. You said bingo is when we have a line. No. So I guess I will explain bingo really quickly. So bingo, for those who don't know, you have this chart and I have all of the spaces from all the boards in this little thing and I'm going to pull them out. And every time I pull something out and say it, unlike regular bingo where just like if you have it, then you cover it, you're only going to cover your slots or the boxes if it applies to you. So if it applies to you, then you can cover it. And as soon as you have 5 in a row or 5 in a column or 5 in a diagonal, which you see you have a free space in the middle, then you can type in bingo. Yeah. And then we'll go from there. So that's how bingo is going to work. Again, there is no bingo and no numbers on the side, but I'm just going to call it out. If it applies to you, mark your spot, baby. So I'm also going to see if I can edit my image. Wait, no, yes, I can. I was saying I want to play too. Okay, I just had to make sure. I don't want it to be this color though, so let's just change it. History is my fave. Good luck. It's history. I sincerely wish you the best. Udma Udma. Yes. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna knock it out of the park. Okay? I sincerely wish you the best. Okay, no, I am gonna just use the mark. Okay, so let's get started. Alrighty. Nova is gonna help me read the first one. So the first thing is MXTX is my least favorite Danmei author. Least favorite. So that's the first one. If you have it, if that's how you feel, then you would mark that if it's on your board or boards, if you're playing more than one. So anyway, and I'll talk through these. So MXTX is not my least favorite author. She's just not my favorite. But I don't think she's my least favorite. Okay. You said, I need to read more, then I can assess that. Yes, I've read all of MXTX, and overall, I'd say it's pretty good. Least favorite, that's gonna, for me, it's gonna be. Trying to remember the name of the author. Kunyiwelo, the author of Missing Piece. That is going to be my least favorite author. Yeah. I think she has a great style for rereadings. I think so. Yeah. Next card is Nebu says, I actually don't like meat bun. If you say that, if that's yours, you automatically lose. No, I'm kidding. I know there are people that don't like meat bun. You said, don't know if I'll be able to play. Mom and sister are over helping me decorate my house for Christmas. Hope everyone has fun playing. I'll have the stream on in the background. Well, that's okay. Thanks for being here. I think she's the most popular, but I don't hate her. MXDX is good to get into Danmei. Absolutely. You know I chose that one. Okay. Well then, NFS, you automatically lose. Let's see. Atlas says, knows what NPAB stands for. So I do. Let me see if that's on my chart, which I don't think it is. Knows what NPAB stands for. It's not on this one. I'm switching my chart. No, I'm kidding. I can't do that. But yes, if you know what NPAB stands for without having to look it up, then you can mark that spot. And I will tell you guys what it means after we pull the next one. He said right now, I am definitely in ballad author is best writing. Oh, I saw in a hot minute. Okay. Well, we're getting started on that one in January, and I'm super excited about it because I need us to go back into ancient times. We got to go back into ancient China, and I need some heaviness. Like, I'm done with the fluff and stuff. Okay, next. This is also technically another free space. I am subscribed to Mari's channel. NPAB stands for No Paths Are Bound. That's what it is. So, believe it or not, yes, I am subscribed to my own channel. I got to support myself first, right? Anyway, so that's my first. Okay. I'm also gonna, you said, but yes, No Paths Are Bound is the most popular TGCF fanfic. It is over 1 million words, and it is absolutely amazing. When I tell you it's better than the original, it's so freaking good. It's so good. Okay, let me calm down. You said, I hope you like it because I don't want it to get the Guardian treatment. I mean, I read the first 40 or 50 pages just to like get in like a little bit of the tone, and I decided not to read the rest. But I like the sound of it thus far, so I think I'm going to like it. I really hope I do. So you said I respect the hustle. Heck yeah, because I already had a YouTube channel with my where I put my music. So I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and subscribe to my own channel. Yes, I am. And I also have a work YouTube for my job because we have our Gmails. And so I was like, I'm gonna subscribe to my channel twice. And my husband is subscribed as well. So I mean that technically doesn't count as me, but it's gonna count as me. He said, give us a link for that. For No Paths Are Bound. Absolutely, I can give you let me see, go to my bookmarks. No, it should be in my collections, TGCF, No Paths Are Bound. Yep, specifically 1,158,737 words and 152 chapters. It's amazing. There you are. I'm going to pin it for the time being. He said, are you a musician? Yes. Or I was. I actually let music go a couple years ago, but I had been in the music scene pretty much my entire life. My mother told me that at 5 years old, I was performing in front of her clients because she did hair. And then I just always knew I wanted to be a singer-songwriter, and so I dabbled in playing like the organ or the keys, the guitar, the ukuleles, but my area of expertise is in song composition, and I've released 3 albums, 2 EPs, a couple of singles. I've performed a couple of times, but not a lot because I had stage fright. Go figure. And people have requested me a couple times to record professionally on their work. So yeah, but I just stopped music because I realized it was more so of a coping mechanism throughout my life. And after I released my last album, I was exhausted from music. So I haven't touched it in a while. I'm not closing myself off from it, but I just realized that I'm in a different season of my life where I'm not really focusing on the music. So you said perfect to start at 11 p.m. So yeah, I've got 2 guitars, a cello that I started to learn, but I put it down, 3 ukuleles, 2 dizus, and 1 dongxiao, which are Chinese flutes. And I love them all very much. And I also have a keyboard somewhere. So yeah, but my main instrument was this. Like my last album was completely a cappella. Well, technically. In one of them, I played a single note on the flute throughout the entire thing. So, but it's all a cappella. Recently taken up Chinese folk music. It's so much fun. Ooh. So there was even one of the songs for my last EP was Chinese inspired, and I have a song that's completely in Chinese, which is pretty cool. You said, bruh, link your music. I'd love to hear. Sure. My music link is technically in all of my descriptions for my stories now. I decided to put it there, but I just don't talk much about it. But here's my ooh, hold on. And who knows, maybe I'll just like play a song or something for you guys later, but here is my most recent thing, and then you can just look at the rest from there. Whoa, my music. Okay. You said completely fair. Not a fanfic girl, but I'll bookmark it. Any good scum villain fanfic Rex? Hmm. Do I have some? You'll be happy to know that the surprise fanfic we're reading is actually scum villain. And it's my favorite scum villain fanfic that I've read. I did make sure to get permission from the author of it. You know, she was like, "Oh my gosh, thanks for your interest." And I was like, "Yeah, yours is my favorite one." And I even asked her because my channel's monetized, if that was okay or not. But I got the permission link in my description as well as the link to the fic itself. So yes, you said, "Bro, I love my pizza." I ended up with 3 very quickly. Yes, the pizzas are so nice, but honestly, you should get a dongxiao because oh my God, a dongxiao is like, and let me make sure I'm saying the right word because, yep, a dongxiao. They're the bigger flutes. They're like longer and it is so beautiful. Oh, I love it so much. Danke. Willkommen, I believe, is how you would say that. Next thingy while we're talking in between. Stars of Chaos is my cup of tea. So if you are someone who absolutely loves Stars of Chaos, that's for you. You said you want to shout, brother, I'm buying like 7 flutes when I go to China. They're so hard to get in the UK. Oh no, that sucks. But yes, get all the flutes you want. Get all the flutes you need, which you need them all. But yeah, I was actually just talking to my husband yesterday because I was listening to my last EP, and I was like, dang, I wish I didn't feel so exhausted from music because when I listen to my own music, I can really hear the intent in it and the purpose and even the mastery. Like I had just found my sound and my voice after years of struggling. And right after that, I was exhausted from music. I was like, why? So, you said I reread Stars of Chaos. Ha 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 ha. Give me mushrooms. You love Stars of Chaos. Why is that not in my bingo card? Sorry. I mean, you could have played on more than one bingo card. I did say that. So that's on you. It's too late to start over now. You said it's okay. Artist burnout is real in any creative hobby or job. Take your time. Yeah. Well, it's not even necessarily regular burnout, but it's because of what was going on in my life because my last EP that I made was also made in congruency like with my memoir talking about my abuse and everything growing up and the healing journey, and the album or the EP focuses more on the actual love and the healing, but there are subliminal like things that I did or just like expended so much of myself energetically that I don't know, because I know what burnout feels like, and it didn't feel like burnout to me. It just felt like I needed to move on. Not maybe not forever, but like I need to move on. You said I didn't mute that one. Blah. You said, you know what? I do orchestral stuff, and like the Chinese stuff is the most fun hobby. It's really odd having a hobby that's also in music, but it's saving my ass. I mean, music is a saver. It really is. I love orchestral stuff. I've never been in an orchestra, but I love orchestral music. I used to love singing with orchestras, with my choirs and stuff. It was amazing. You don't have the attention span to multi-card. I'm so sorry. Okay, the next one. I love smut. The more, the better. Please tell me that's on my card. How is it not on my card? I chose the worst card. I love smut so freaking much. I'm already on 2 screens for this. Oh, I have to shuffle projects. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. But yes, I loved writing music, and I've even like mentored people before and helping them to find their voice or like help them create music. It's been really fun. Sorry, not for me. My least favorite bit of Mo Dao Zushu was book 5. Let's see next. Didn't It's so funny you say that. This is the didn't care for MDZS extras. Oh, that's so ironic. I did not care for the extras in MDZS. In fact, book 5 was probably my least favorite. You said, I think that's why I enjoy Priest writing a lot. She fades off after flirtage. Me too. I went downstairs to put live stream on my laptop so I am able to do bingo on my phone. But it happened to be a good thing. I discovered I'm hungry and entered the kitchen to eat something. Lovely. I mean, you guys, do you not have printers? I have a printer. So, but then yes, I've heard about the smut in there. I'm excited because I want to know how we're doing it on a horse. That's all I ever hear about. You said you didn't even pick that board. Same. I love changing what I do. There's so many projects. I don't even want to know how many of them won't get finished. Yeah, I grew up doing so many things. It's crazy. Like I always thought it was weird when people were like, "Oh my gosh, you're multi-talented. I'm so jealous of you." And I'm just like, "Are you stupid?" Like no offense. I'm like, "Do you know how difficult it is to be multi-talented?" It's so hard to find a focus, to know what you want to do in your life, to find your niche, to like pinpoint on things. And the truth is, you don't have to pinpoint or anything, but we're raised to believe that. And so I focused on one thing for so long only to figure out I didn't want to do that. And but just like I'm like, "Oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that." Like it was so hard to focus. And it's like it's not fun. It is not fun knowing how to do multiple things. Is it cool? Sure, but it's not fun when you're trying to figure out what the hell you want to do with your life. So you said, I don't care how it's supposed to be. I'm going to use all the sheets. With a lot of vagary, Mari Chan. They do it on a horse with a lot of vagary. Okay, we'll see. Sounds like the typical ADHD experience. You printed all the boards, so you're lucky. Smart, Anne. Next one. Liked a fanfic better than the original Danmei. That's not on my board. Bruh. I chose the worst board possible. I'm so upset with myself. Because, because I did. Oh my God. Whatever. You said multi-talented. Sounds like mediocre at 7. All parts of the character development, I guess. Yeah. I mean, that was another thing as well. It's like because I was so good at other things, I didn't really take the time to master anything. But I do know the one thing I did master because even after like dabbling in other things, music was always a constant. So I do believe that I am a master, in my personal opinion, a master singer songwriter. That's me. Um, that's just how I feel. But everything else, no. So, but yeah. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with not being a master at anything. If you can do several things, that's great. That means you have several ways you can make money. But still, I just would feel better if I could master something. So next, Yuwu is my favorite hurt. God, I really chose the wrong board because it is my favorite hurt and I can't mark it. Is Yuwu your favorite hurt? Um, I forgot I could have printed them. I thought I said you could print them in the comments. You even figured out how to print on your phone and your tablet. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I have a literal master's, so I have that on paper. I agree 100%. My issue is that I have long-term hyperfixations. Yes, absolutely. Yes. And I fixated my whole life specifically on music. But now it's transitioned to Danmei. Not that that's a talent, but it's fixated to Danmei and MHA. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, you can't forget anything. Next, MXTX is my favorite author. No, she's not. You like Japanese is now bunked because I'm like, now Chinese is dopamine. Chinese is amazing. I really need to get back into my studies just because why do I have a second printing of this one? Oopsie. Because I want to master it, but so many things around it happened that I took a long break. Next, I feel bad for Shirmei. That's it. If you know, you know. Oh, I have this one. I do feel bad for Shirmei. So there's that. Okay. You said I know, and I didn't even read it. I haven't finished Aha, so IDK. Oh well. Next, I too disliked Guardian. Please tell me that's on my. Yes, it's on my board. I don't know why I'm getting excited. It's not like I'll win anything if I win. But, oh my gosh. I too disliked Guardian. If that's how you feel, mark your space. Next. He said, I have been listening to this Chinese song about horses and it's a problem. It's so short and it's been weeks now. You know, crazy thing is, there's this Chinese song about a dog, an old dog, and I really like it. It's called Lao Go. I would sing it, but I can't really sing right now because, ugh, you know, when I first got sick, I had the low notes, and now that I am recovering, I don't have them. Next, I will reread until the pages fall out. Then I'll rebind the book so I can reread again. Of course, this is an exaggeration. You don't have to actually rebind to mark this as your thing. But if you are a rereader, this one's for you. He said, me and my friends have been running gag that all the best Chinese folk songs are about horses. Nice. I need this list of songs. Please put it in the community so I can go listen. Okay. Next, don't care about author's personal life. I just want to read. Do I have that one? Because I genuinely feel this way. I do have it. You know, because I hear a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, not just in Danmei, but just in all facets of reading. They're like, oh my gosh, don't support this author because they have this opinion or they have that opinion. And I'm just kind of like, they're allowed to have a difference of opinion. I just want to know if their book is good. Like, that's all I care about. That's all I want to do. Like, if we're going to cancel people just because they have a difference in opinion, because they don't agree, I don't know. I just think that's doing a little bit too much. You know, unless they're doing something to physically hurt or harm people, whatever. Because chances are the person that you get, like the brand that you get your toilet tissue from, I don't know, they support killing 2-year-old kids or something. Who knows? So it just, you know, like, come on. I just want to read my story. Let's see. As long as I'm not funding you to go do something bad, you have your opinion. I don't care. You said, thank God Seven Seas is actually well bound. They are, even though they've cheapened out their paper. You love a comfort, good reread, and annotating your books. Yes. I just don't fund people who fund bad stuff. I like that. Like, if I know that your You're contributing to something bad. Yeah, I feel that. I've read so many. This author, actor, etc. is a bad person. Disclosure, mostly I don't care. Yeah. Bro, I didn't know that. That's great. Uh oh, you're saying that to somebody else. Yeah. In it. Okay. You should care if it's actively making a bad difference in the world. Cough, a particular wizardly author in the UK. Cough. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like if something that they're saying or doing is creating harm, I care. But if they just have a difference in opinion and it's one that you don't like, I don't really care. You say you don't care what they do in their personal life, honestly, unless they do something extreme. Yeah. It is a very touchy thing. Absolutely. Um, I just can't look at the actor on the screen and pretend he didn't do those bad things. I know that he did. Absolutely. I feel that. So now, why am I ironically choosing things? Speaking of controversy in this type of arena, I read Pigeon Post and I liked it. Hashtag sue me. I actually haven't read it. I have 3 of the 4 books, but I haven't read it yet. You said, hey, friends. Hi, Stacy. Thank you. You're just popping in. Hope we're having fun. I think we're having fun. We're playing bingo right now. Nice. It's really good to see you, Stacy. You are scared to ask. What is that? What is Pigeon Post? I think that's like the Pigeon Post. You've Got Mail by Black Egg or something like that. Hold on. Yeah, You've Got Mail, The Perils of Pigeon Post by Black Egg. It's apparently this author who, I don't know, apparently they said some things that make people believe that they're homophobic or something like that in an interview. And because of that one statement, now every time I turn around, people are like, don't support this author because they're homophobic, or in this one interview they said this thing, so don't support them, don't give them your money. Which I'm like, fine, if that's what you want to do, fine, then do that. But the thing that's crazy to me is how people will be like, you can still read the story, but don't support them by giving them your money. Just download it off this site, aka pirate their material and read it, but don't support them. So I'm like, if you really have a problem with them being homophobic, if they truly are homophobic, shouldn't you just like stay away from their work altogether rather than technically doing something illegal to obtain their work and not give them their money? Okay. I don't know. So that's like a weird thing, but I don't know what Pigeon Post is about. I think it's like about some guy who's in his 30s or something. He's about to die. But before he dies, he's like, I'm a virgin. I want to have sex at least. So he signs up on this little chat thing and end up sleeping with someone. I don't know. From another person's perspective, they said it was very funny and very like non-serious. So anyway, you said the book sounds interesting, but when I saw that she's what she said about gay people, it was such a turn off. Just saying, this is a fun chat. All you guys are fun. Yeah. Yeah. Many times the bad things, especially authors coming from fandom, is stuff like they ship incest or anything equally irrelevant. Like that's, if you want to ship incest, that's nasty, but that's on you, I guess, I suppose. I think is that they said gay people are disgusting while writing about gay people. That's just feels exploitative. I find it strange when it's book of great value and then the author is disjointly opposed. That's when I have issues. Yeah, like I said, I don't care if people are like, I don't want to read it because of what the author said. I just have it. I don't know. I feel like it's hypocritical to be like, oh, don't support this author because they said this, but then turn around and be like, but I'm a pirated. I'm gonna illegally access it to read it. Like if you, I don't know. It's just weird. You said like cognitive dissonance. Next. Is this on my thing? Yes, it's on my thing. Next. I'm part of the Yanwusher Appreciation Society. Y'all know we made that here. So you're either part of it or you're not. That's it. I love my Yanwusher. So yes. Okay. Next. But yeah, I haven't read Pigeon Post, but I already have the 3 books. I ordered them. Actually, man, I feel like I've had these books forever now, but I just haven't read it yet. Bark, but no bingo. Oh man, it's crazy. No one's gotten bingo yet. I need to move faster. DNF'd a series. Definitely have DNF'd a series. Absolutely. I don't need to shake it every time. Oh my God. It's a weird sound. Okay. Oh. You said you're so late. It's okay. I just can't bring myself to liking something coming from someone who supports things against my morality. I feel that. Guardian, we watching you. You said what's going on. We're playing Danmei Bingo right now. So yeah, if you want to join in, the cards are in the community. 1 second. I have put the cards in the community in advance. There are 4 different options that you can choose from. I mean, you could just start playing now if you want. And I can go over the ones that I did. Did you catch a cold? You're so late. Yes, I caught a cold last week. That's why my readings have been so short this week. I got a cold or possibly another strand of COVID. Who knows? But I'm feeling a lot better. I actually thought I was going to have to postpone this event, but that did not happen. So yes, if you you'll just have to go to the community on my page and look for the post, and then you can join. Okay, but we're going to continue going. I get that you nasty, but shipping is about fictional characters. There are no thought crimes. Exactly. The founder of AO3, for example, has written a lot of controversial fics. You hope I get well soon. Thank you. Me too. Absolutely. My thing is, if it's a thought, it's fiction. I get so upset seeing people complaining about things that are happening in fiction and morality and all that stuff. It's like, it's fiction. This is not real life. Why are we getting so upset about it? Why? Anyway, we're not going to talk about that issue. But next, refuse to DNF a series. I shall finish what I started. That is not me. You said it's a slippery slope when you touch on thought crimes. It is. Oh, you got bingo! Whee! Anne got bingo. Okay, go Anne. So now, all right, Anne B got bingo. Ayo. All right. And you're awesome. So you said F no, you DNF so fast. So now that Anne has gotten bingo, do you guys want to do one more round completely starting over or keep going with your boards intact? I'm going to let y'all answer that first and then we'll decide. Start over, keep board intact. Keep going, says Freya, because Freya wants to win. She's like, I'm so close. I got so many squares but no bingo. My card is like ADHD brain. Okay, let's keep going then. Thousand Autumns is my favorite Danmei series. And watch that not be on my thingy. It's not on my thingy. Because I got the wrong board. Of course, I want to win. You said I go with majority. Okay. So you said, oh, that's hard. Is Thousand Autumns your favorite Danmei series? Not your second fave, not your third fave, but your actual fave. Next. I feel like this is probably everybody. I have a few almost bingos. Okay, well, if you get a second bingo, still shout it out. So, next one. You're so swingy with your faves. Said, just one more chapter. And now it's 4 a.m. Doesn't have to exactly be 4 a.m., but just one more chapter. Hours later, still wide awake reading. Is that you? That's definitely me. Actually, the worst thing I can possibly do is start a new series or fanfic at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Actually, 10 is worse. Both. Doesn't matter, book or fanfic. Reading, just reading. It just like, oh my gosh, it's the worst. I will not go to sleep. Being old is knowing it won't be one chapter and be fine with it. That's just how it is. But reading is extra addicting at 10 p.m. and on. Right? Something about that night hour. I'm like, it's fine. I'll just skip sleep today. Right? Who needs sleep? What is sleep? Next, we have I prefer series 6 books and up. So we're looking at Yuwu, Arha, I believe Legend of Exorcism, Qingqiu, all those series, 6 books and up. So the longer the series, the happier I am because the longer I get to be in the world. You said, I know it won't be one chapter, but I'll stop when the book hits me in the face because I feel sleepy reading. I fell asleep reading. I'll stop when I realize I have to reread the same paragraph like 2 times. I'm like, okay, I'm not understanding this, so I need to like stop. You said 5 is a sweet spot for you. Well, hopefully your board has the one where it says the 5 and below. We'll see. I got phone on my face so hard. Oh, I haven't dropped my phone on my face in years. Is that weird? That's just a weird random fact to mention. Next, read MDZS novels and watched Donghua. Okay, that's not on my thingy. I love long series, but my wallet hates me because I love owning and reading physical books. Don't jinx yourself. Next, had to stop reading to freak out about what I just read. Absolutely. That has absolutely happened to me. That happened to me in TGCF and in Arha. All the Donghua. Yes, you read the book and you watched all the Donghua. All the seasons. I think it was like 3. What do you get if your entire thing is filled up with no bingo? Nothing. Or when duck is like chef's kiss. That's so horrible. You got no bingo. Hold on. Let's see. I grabbed more than one. Okay. This says the MC needs therapy. I need therapy. It's hilarious at this point. Okay. I do need therapy. My appointment is next month. It's so crazy that only one person has won so far. And is killing the game. Okay. You said I stopped Yuwu to record myself crying. Oh my god. That's not funny, but it is funny. Um, oh my gosh. Oh, I've definitely uploaded some videos on TikTok of me crying during the live reading sessions. Like, actually, no, one video I posted, it was like, look at me talking about this, and I haven't even cried yet. 2 minutes later, I was like, well, how'd that go? Next. You just got a second bingo? That's so funny. Okay. All right. You can't get any more bingos. We just need one more person. And stole your bingos. Right. And what are you doing? Okay, let's see. Next. Defended my favorite character in the comments. And said, oopsie. I have defended my favorite character in the comments. But that's not on my board, so I guess it doesn't matter. I've had to defend Yan Wushi before because people were talking bad about him in the Facebook group and just saying like how awful of a character he is and how he was abusive to Shen Qiao and, you know, betrayed his trust and so many other things. And I was like, the guy said who he was from the very beginning. Okay. He said who he was from the very beginning. He never professed to be Shen Qiao's friend. He already had his goal in mind of what he wanted to do. Shen Qiao was freaking naive. I'm like, do not come for Yan Wushi. And because people were also like, they're in a toxic relationship. And I was like, no, they're not. Before he realized his true feelings for Shen Qiao, they were not friends. They were not friends at all, okay? They were on two separate wavelengths. But as soon as he did realize that he treasures Shen Qiao, things changed, okay? Like, you just don't come for my Yan Wushi. Just do not. Because I will murder you. You said you will die for Luo Bingke. You know, the crazy thing is, Luo Bingke is not my favorite character, but I will also defend him. I will defend him. At 100% defend him. He's kind of funny, though. I'm like, you just got to understand. Next, binged 5+ books. I meant to say books in 1 week. You binged a 5+ book series in 1 week. So I did do that. The series that I binged in 1 week was Mo Dao Zushi, but I also did that with TGCF. Well, I didn't binge the whole series at the time when I first read it. I think like 6 of the books were out, or no, 7 of the books were out. So I read all 7 very quickly. So you don't have to have read the entire series. Freya got bingo! Okay. It's just Freya's like, finally, I got bingo. Freya said she was going to win. Okay. PDF was almost 2K words. All right. That was technically 2 people that won, but 3 wins. So we just one more winner. That's it. Oh, Harley got bingo. Hi, Harley. Okay. Cool. Harley Miller. Arwuyiba. Okay. So I should literally post this in community. It's so funny at this point. Congrats to all the winners. There have been 3 winners. So we're going to stop with Danmei Bingo and move on to this or that. But it's been really fun playing Danmei Bingo with you guys. We got 3 winners, so we're good. Does free space count? Yes. Ritu, I said at the beginning that free space counts. How long have you had bingo? Oh my god. Nari, it's a free space. Okay. Please tell me how long have you had bingo? IDK, how is that even possible? I'm trying to figure out how NFS doesn't have bingo because you said pretty much all of your spots are filled. So, okay. Um, I didn't win my own game. That's fine. Now, you got neither bingos, but like 9 empty spaces. I don't know how that happened. Okay. So I didn't inform anyone of this because I just wanted to do it for fun and just do it on hopefully honesty is the best policy type scenario. So there were actually prizes for the bingo. Bingo, Danmei bingo. So for Anne, you got double bingo, which is crazy because I know I just gave you something not too long ago. But I am going to give you 2 free months of Head Disciple on Patreon. You got 2 bingos, so 2 free months for you. Because I wanted someone to get double bingo and to win 2 free months of that. So 2 free months for you, which I already know you're on Patreon. So there you go. Let me just write this down. Now, if you guys don't want the wins, say that, and we'll keep playing, and I'll give it to someone else, even though I just put all the cards back in there. Oh my God. So Freya, you are a head disciple as well. So you will get 1 free month. I just have to go on there and see when you guys' what summer bobbers are coming up again. So then Harley Miller, do you know what my Patreon is? Because I don't think I've ever seen you in a live session before. He said, "Oh, thanks, much appreciated." Yes. But yeah, I was trying to. You said bingo. Hi, nice to see you. You said thank you. Yay. So I'm just waiting for Harley Miller to tell me what's up. If you know what my Patreon is, because if you would like, then you can have a free month. You are a head disciple on there and always working during the lives. Then we have to keep playing. Okay, because all of you. Okay, so the first 2 winners are already on my Patreon. The second 2 winners are already on my Patreon. I want to be fair and give some non-Patreon people a chance to win. So we're going to keep playing until some non-Patreoners win. So I think now I just have to remember what it is that I picked. I had seen somebody else said they got bingo, but I believe I've offered you a free Patreon before during a giveaway. Who was it? Where did it go? I just saw it. Yeah, letters from Paradoxiton. Okay. Also, hello. I haven't heard from you all live session, but hello. You said that you got bingo. Have I offered you something before? I don't remember. I'm sorry. Let me just pull up my sheet because I do have a spreadsheet for times when people win things. So that it's not the same people winning over and over again, but I don't mind sometimes doing that. You said gets her papers arranged back. Okay, so letters from Paradoxiton. I don't know what your name is. So are you already on my Patreon? If you are, there we'll just leave it be at that because we have 2 Patreon winners. But we're gonna keep playing so that someone non-Patreon can win. Because people put random names up and I don't be knowing. NFS, are you on my Patreon or not? I don't know. If everyone's from Patreon, then that's actually pretty cool. Not even gonna lie, super cool. So the next thing, we'll keep going, is I prefer series 5 books and under. NFS. I promise I didn't pick that on purpose. That just happened to be what I picked. So you said gets her papers arranged back. No, because it's a bit hassle to figure out payment. Okay, got you. Okay, cool. You said ha ha ha. Like, now do you have bingo? Now do you have it? Okay, next one. Okay, that was Lord Bingo. I read that. Now I have to remember the ones I did because I threw all the things in here. Next, I'm a Danmei newbie, 1 year or less. That is definitely not me. You said no. Oh, you missed one from both ends. Dang it. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. Book hangover for 3 days. I have had one of those. Where am I? Apparently it's not on my thingy though. So boo. Okay. I had a book hangover after reading Arha and after reading Yuwu, actually. You're quite impressed, not gonna lie. With your board. I think I already read Priest is my I'm sorry. I have one that says Priest is my favorite Danmei author. You think you need Hua Cheng plushie to ward off evil. That's hilarious. Well, is Priest your favorite author? I read that one already. I read that one already. I read that one. That one. That one. That one. You got bingo. Lovely. I guess we didn't have to keep playing, but I really wanted you to win. Okay. NFS. I'll give you a free month of my Patreon. You get 1 free month. Okay. 1 free month. So that's 2 free months for Anne, 1 free month for Freya, and 1 free month for NFS. And that's just because I know that Harley and Ritu already got bingo as well, but after 2 people already on Patreon got it, I was really trying to give it to someone from YouTube. Just want to say I found out I have 2 bingo, but I am cheating because I started marking everything on the sheets without you reading them. I don't need the free subscription anyway, so don't mind me. Well, if you don't want it, then that's fine. But so just let me know. Okay, so now let's move on. I am going to stop sharing my screen because now good things should be said 3 times. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Felicitaciones, felicitaciones, felicitaciones. Gongsi, gongsi, gongsi. Those are the only languages I know. Now we're doing this or that. So hopefully you guys prepared this as well. You said your sheets are almost all full. So this or that. I have decided to not only make it just this or that, but it's also going to be a points thingy. So there are 17 different this or that's, which means the minimum amount of points you can get is 17. The maximum is going to be double that, 34. And there are going to be 3 categories. So The first category, let me drink. The first category is going to be normal Danmei consumer. Your tastes are spicy, but not deadly. Next, it's going to be should probably concern you a little. Half wholesome, half chaos. You could be saved, maybe. And then the last ranking, if you have the most points, it's going to be there's something very wrong with me. Proudly. So your soul is fueled by pain, devotion, betrayal, rebirth cycles, demon kings, demon lords, whatever, ghost kings, and you are exactly where you belong. So we're going to, you said come back, go to therapy, runs away, come back in a bus. You must choose. 你必须选. You must choose. Yes, you must choose to figure out where you rank. And I'll tell you the scores of each as we go along. So you can add up your scores as we go. So, nope, I'm a lurker who have been too shy to interact before. That's okay. that's totally fine. I get it. But hey, we can't see your face. If that gives you some encouragement, you know? No, wait, explain again. I was ordering groceries. Okay, I'm going to pull up the sheet first, actually, and then explain as we go along. Okay, so here is this or that. And I didn't explain anything from the beginning, so except for like the tiers. So you're pretty much okay. You said, I'm on the first tier of Patreon. Okay, cool. That's fine. Got it. I love that my Patreoners be showing up because sometimes I'd be concerned. I'm like, it says I have 60 people subscribed, but where are they? So, it's nice to have you here. Okay, so for this or that, all we're going to do is go through each this or that. And I'm going to tell you which one is 1 point and which one is 2 points. We're going to go through each one and pick. And then at the end, you're going to tally up your total number of points. And then I'm going to tell you which tier you belong in. The tiers that are created is a normal Danmei consumer, should probably concern you a little, and there's something very wrong with me, proudly. So those are the the tiers. You said lurkers, all Junwoo clones. Don't say that. We're hiding. Okay, so let's do it. The first this or that, and I'm joining in with you guys because why not? So, first this or that. Enemies to lovers or friends to lovers. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I am all the way in enemies to lovers. All the way enemies to lovers. And that is 2 points. Friends to lovers is 1 point. So far, I think my favorite enemies to lovers, NFS. Are you having a hard time? Osmet, this wine tastes the same as I remember, but where are those? NFS, you must pick. You must. Okay. So next we have devoted gong or ferocious show. I prefer ferocious show, which is also a 2. And devoted gong is 1. You would just go with valid. He said, fine. Pick. Yes. I love it. I'm telling you. Enemies to lovers is where it's at. What's that again? Oh, yes. Let me explain. The show is the bottom. The gong is the top. So a devoted gong like Lo Bingke or a ferocious show like Chu Wanning. He's pretty ferocious when he wants to be. Like the Butterfly Town thingy, a couple other thingies, you know. But yeah, devoted gong is going to be one. Okay. Next, we have pining for 100 years or realizing feelings right away. Um, where is Gumong here? There are no specific people names on the thingy. um, but yeah, he's a ferocious show, I'll say. I mean, he's on here somewhere in one of these things, but we'll see. So I prefer pining for 100 years. I don't know. I don't want them to know they like each other right away. Or I don't want one person to confess right away, I guess I'll say. Sorry. Mm, you have to pick. If you don't pick, you get 0 points. Um, Stranger to Lovers. Is that the next one? Oh, it's not. Slow Burn, which is almost the same, but not necessarily, because technically the pining is a slow burn, but I think y'all get the difference. Oh, I'm sorry. Pining for 100 years is 2. Realizing your feelings right away is 1. You love a good yearner. Absolutely. So then we have slow burn, which for me is, I mean, it could be the pining or it could be both of them have feelings, but no one is like, I would say in a way, like you, they don't get together again until the end. That's a slow burn, but there really wasn't pining for years and years. And well, there was, but there wasn't. Okay, so for me, slow burn compared to we're stuck in a cave together. Stuck in a cave together is 2 points. Slow burn is 1. You said friends to lovers, devoted gong. Shuffle along slow, lol. Okay, next. Ooh, God, this is hard. Hi, how's mine? Slow burn, yes. Palace intrigue or cultivation chaos. Why did I make this one? It's so hard. Oh, okay. Um, cultivation chaos is gonna be it for me, and it's also 1 point. Palace intrigue. If you like palace intrigue, you are a different kind of beast. You said chaos. Yes. So now, for those who don't know what dog blood is, that's just a whole bunch of excessive fighting and gore, blood and guts, you name it, versus soft domestic fluff. This one is hard. You like both? Give me dog blood. And dog blood is going to be 2. Domestic fluff is 1. We need both. You gotta choose. NFS goes with chaos. Okay, next, master disciple couple or around the same age. Obviously, I am choosing master disciple couple. That is a horrible circle. All of my circles are horrible. That is 2. And around the same age is a 1. You said this one's easy. Realizing feelings right away. Oh man. Okay, next. Do you want a single brain cell protagonist or someone who is always 10 steps ahead? I think y'all know who I'm thinking of when I think always 10 steps ahead, right? If you chose always 10 steps ahead, that's a 1 pointer. If you chose single brain cell protagonist, that's a 2 pointer. You said age gap romance. Here we come. Yes, I love him so much, especially if it's master disciple. Single brain cell is hilarious though. Chooses accordingly to satisfy. Yes, satisfy me. Lon John realizes feelings, but he was running, bruh. So I would put that in a slow burn. Sorry. Emotional trauma or physical trauma. All right, y'all. I'ma just humbly circle my emotional trauma. Why do I prefer to read things that hurt me? I don't know, but that's why this is scored at a 2. And physical trauma is scored as a 1. Cave or coffin scene. I don't know. Coffin? I kind of don't understand that one. The emotional trauma or physical trauma? I'm just basically asking, do you prefer to read things where there's a lot of emotional trauma in it, or do you prefer to read things where there's a lot of physical violence and physical hurt? Whatever kind of violence or trauma that may be. I'm not even relegating it to literal fighting, but like going back to that subject we talked about before, as far as like risque things in fan fiction, a lot of people write about non-con and rape and stuff like that. Like some people really enjoy reading that stuff. So if that's you, hey, then pick it, and that people like that kind of stuff, of course, for different reasons, no shame in what you like to read. So yeah, physical trauma can be related to literally any kind of physical trauma. Emotional trauma is a things like you, which also had a lot of physical trauma in it as well. But the emotional trauma is what got me the worst. So hopefully that cleared it up for you. Next, we have you'd rather have emotional damage. But oh well. Okay. Next, I'll die for you angst or live for me angst. Definitely going to go with I'll die for you angst. And I'll die for you is going to be 2. Live for me is going to be 1. It was actually kind of hard to figure out which one I wanted to give the 1 and the 2 because they're both kind of extreme. You said, I love live for me. Live for me. Yes. Next, we have Ghost Kings or Demon Lords. You should say that earlier so I know immediately. Lovely. Ghost Kings like Hua Chung or Demon Lords, people who are not dead, but they are Wendren and Binga and so on and so forth. I'm going to choose Demon Lords because I love me some Wendren. Yes, I do. And Demon Lord is actually going to be 1 point. Ghost King is 2. What did you say about points? What did I say about them in general, or what did I say about them as in totality? Live, I will die for you. Angst is 2 points. Live for me. Angst is 1 point. I'm waiting for you to comment, but I'm also trying to talk at the same time to maybe answer your question. So we're going to tally these points up at the end, and there are 3 categories that will all fit in. One of the 3, and we'll share at the end once you add up your points to see where you fit. You're welcome. I don't know which one was the answer, but you're welcome. Okay, next. Miscommunication or communicates healthily. Okay. For me, I would rather they communicate healthily. Please. Please. But at the same time, I don't really want either, Healthy communication or miscommunication? This is a hard one, but I guess I prefer healthy communication. Healthy communication is good. You said, does it even exist? You don't want either? Well, whatever's going on with feng shui. I think they had healthy communication. Not even gonna lie. It's their own thing, but I think it was healthy. So I'm clicking, that's 1 point. Miscommunication is 2 points. Okay. We have next, plotting against each other or working together. Plotting against each other all day for me. That's 2 points. Hex yeah. How's mine? Plotting, yes. Yes, I love good communication. And I think a Danmei series can still be long and great and everything if the characters have good communication with each other. Pick NFS. Pick. You're so upset over a quiz. Sorry, but not really. I know you guys can't see the rest of my thing, but if you're answering it, you're fine. So yeah, plotting against each other is 2 points. Working together is 1 point. Next, we have cold and aloof beauty or warm, gentle sunshine. It doesn't matter if it's about the gong or the show or anybody. I'm just saying, do you prefer like one of the characters, one of the love interests to be cold and aloof, or do you prefer the warm and gentle? This is actually hard. This is hard. But let me think about this. So I love Shenqiu. Shenqiu is not cold, but he is aloof. Suibuchi is definitely cold and aloof. Yan Wushi, cold. Okay, so yeah, cold and aloof it is. And that is cold and aloof is going to be 2 points. Trying to figure out where to write my points. Warm, gentle sunshine is 1 point. It reminds you of Tsuibuchu. Yes. Oh, I love Tsuibuchu so much. Yes, miscommunication works well when it's outside forces causing it. True. True. Function is not warm sunshine. Ghost King. I'm glad someone has feng shui stuck in their brain too. Because they are just such an epic couple. Oh my gosh. Okay, next. Stoic protector or possessive menace. So examples of this would be like Chu Wanning, I think, is a stoic protective. A possessive menace could be like Luo Binghe, could definitely be Yan Wushi. Another protective menace I would even say is Gu Yuan. No, I'm sorry. No. Well, yes. No. Okay, anyway, protective menace. I think I'm going to go with the stoic protector. I don't know. I just really like something about the straight face Chu Wanning showing up and then being like, this one here is mine. Something like that. So, possessive menace is going to be 2 points. Stoic protector is just 1 point. So we have, we're down to the last 2. Yeah, that's why I was like, I think I would put Guyu in there. I just wasn't sure. But then I was like, where would I put Changgung? Would I put him in? I guess I would put him in Stoic Protector, but he's also very fierce. Yeah. Lan Wangji is just, Lord have mercy. Yes. So second to last one, forbidden love or fated love. Possessive stoic, that's not an option. When I think about possessive menace, I also think about Morjan. I'd say pick NFS. Possessive stoic was not an option. Anyway, forbidden love is 2 points. It's also what I'm going with. Faded love is 1 point. Because who doesn't like a little piece of that forbidden fruit? He need help. Possessive sounds like loving cuz, so I'll never choose that one. That's who I think about every time I think about possessive. Okay. Okay. Got my eyes on you, theoretically speaking. Last one. Childhood friends or strangers? Hmm. I think I prefer strangers. Yeah. I'm going to go with that. We're going to go with strangers. And strangers is 1 point. Childhood friends is 2 points. It says stranger, stranger, stranger. You love the soulmate trope? It's pretty nice. It is. All of these are pretty nice, honestly. So now everybody tally up your points and see how many you got. So I'm going to look at mine. Oh my gosh, just another pick player. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it. Okay. Are you expecting an Amazon package to be delivered today? What do you mean? I thought you said you bought me a gift. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. 1 second. Didn't you say you bought me a gift? Then yes, I am. Also, didn't you buy yourself another gold chain? Then you are too, right? I didn't buy anything off Amazon. Now, let me tally up my points. How many points for strangers? 1 point. 1 point. If anyone needs any clearing up on the points, just let me know, and I'll do that for you. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2. Now let me just make sure I did that right. 2. Okay, so my total. Ew, why is it in red? I don't want it in red. Well, we're just going to keep it that way. I got 27. You were supposed to choose NFS. Your scores are going to be above the categories I have selected. You must pick. For all the ones where you have 3 points, pick. Am I being such a bully? Some of those were sadistic. Imagine if we played Would You Rather. I did not pick one. Okay. Has everyone gotten their scores tallied? I hope you have. NFS. Okay, so Freya's one above me, got 28. See, Ann got 25. Richu's got 22. But you think you can't count. Allie didn't pick plotting against versus working together. 26 for Harley and NFS. 28 for Its Issues. Amanda 26, Faded Love. Oh yes, Gloritina. Pikachu got 25. How's mine says I have a soft heart. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you where you rank. Don't question the ranking. It's just where you are. For anyone that got 17 through 22, I'm sorry, hold on, Shelby. Someone else mentioned that you got 22, but it's hard to choose some. I feel it. Nevertheless, 17 to 22, you are the normal Danmei consumer. Hey, your tastes are spicy, but not deadly. So congratulations to you guys. Let's see. You said I got called out for liking Palace Intrigue already. So I didn't call you out for liking Palace Intrigue. You can like whatever you like. No discrimination here, no judgment here for whatever people like to read. I love to read questionable things. We're not going to talk about what I like to read. I'll just share those things with people I'm comfortable with. But okay. This wasn't for people who like main couple to simply be against us in the world in healthy relationship. If you scored 23 through 28, which I am in, close to the end of it, should probably concern you a little. You're half wholesome, half chaos. You could be saved. Maybe. And I think I saw one person. Freya, was it you that scored a 28? Freya, so you were at the cusp of that. No one scored in this last one. Oh my God. Oh man. Okay. Well, let's see. You don't want to be saved. Well, that's great. Yeah. So no one got 29 through 34, but that one was there's something very wrong with you. Proudly. So I think we're all healthy people. Half awesome and half what? No, half wholesome. Half wholesome, half chaos. You said, no, good. No money for therapy. Ha 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 ha. Bro, I have no money for therapy. I had to text my therapist and was like, can we postpone my meeting? I don't have money because my hours were cut at work. And she was like, I'll take $25 off. I was like, yep, let me see how I can make this work. So I have therapy next month. We still pushed it back, but okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this or that. Thank you, NFS, for choosing, except for the one that you didn't choose on. Looks like none of us are so on the top tier. So we are all technically very healthy. Yes. We are very healthy Danmei readers. And I still feel like that's not true. It's not true at all. Never say what happens in the future. I am more than 2 years in therapy now. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, I can tell you exactly when I started therapy. And you want to know why? Because I have it on a sticky note. Actually, I'll tell you when I started counseling. I started counseling first for like 2 months and then went switched to therapy. I started March 2nd of 2023. Don't ask why I have a sticky note of when I started. But I'm still going strong. Anyone that reads angst, yeah. Half wholesome, half chaos. Exactly. Just sitting on the floor throwing chairs at you. I'm ducking. Okay, well, that was really, really fun. We are going to move on now to reading. So let's just take like a 2-minute potty break because I actually do have to pee. You know, I'm a human, so I have to pee. I'm going to go do that. Then we'll come back and we're going to read a fanfic. So, one sec. Actually, I guess I can put us back in the waiting room temporarily while we go do this. So, oh, there were some things I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'll have to remember when I come back. Okay. Go potty, go get you some food or something like that. All this time I've been talking and I was on mute. Oh, that's so hilarious. Thank you for saying something. I was reading your comments and responding and everything. I'm so sorry, you guys. Oh no. Okay. Well, I was just saying we're just gonna take this moment for to eat a snack or two, and I'm gonna eat my applesauce because I'm a child. That's what I was saying. Hmm. We were all gaslighting ourselves and refreshing the tab thinking it was our device. It was me. It was me. You have pie. Interesting. What kind of pie? I'm not really a pie person, but in some scenarios I do like apple pie or apple crumble. I really like crumble. Pumpkin pie? No, I'm kidding. You do you. I'm not a pumpkin pie girl. I just don't like pumpkin though, I think. Mm, But if you like it, I love it. Okay. But yeah, I grabbed myself some applesauce, 2 mandarins, and some Gatorade was what I was saying. I was like, I did more than use the bathroom. Okay. I finished that. Thought I had napkins in here. Oh, I have my paper towels for painting. Okay. Anyway, so I'm just gonna talk to you guys about a couple of things before we get started reading. At least I think. Okay. So for the month of December, I have decided to take it easy. I know initially I said I was gonna do that like this week because of catching this cold or whatever. Pecan is your fave. Oh. Um, but I think December could just be a good rest month for me overall. So we're still reading, obviously, you know. We've got Astrolabe and the Imperial Uncle, but I think instead of doing live recaps where I have to take extensive notes and stuff like that, we'll just come on live and chill and chat with each other. I mean, we can still talk about them, but I just want to take a break because I took extensive notes on Yu, which was a lot of work. And even though for the last few chapters on River Bay, I stopped, I took extensive notes for that as well, and then ended up not doing the second novel. Um, but I know that we're gearing up for Ballad of Sword and Wine. And just, you know, from what people have said, it's going to take some work. So I just want to give myself a breather before diving back into the realm of book analysis and keeping up with everything, especially since I hear there are lots of names in this one, which is not a problem for me. Um, but a lot of twists and turns. I yeah. So we're just gonna read the books, enjoy them, and then come on live together to have fun. Um, Another thing to say. Oh, mm, depending on how it goes, we're also going to take our time when we start reading Qiang Jingjiu. I usually try to read books within 2 weeks and sometimes faster if I'm really feeling the gusto and excited about it. But if it takes me 2.5 to 3 weeks to finish a book, I think I'll be okay with that. If there's a lot of stuff that we're going to have to uncover and discuss together, and because I really want to make sure that not only are you guys understanding everything, but like I myself am understanding everything as we read. Because that would be really sucky if I didn't. Um, so mm, a new update. I have to share my screen. So you guys already know what we're reading next year. for the majority of the year. But you said, let me know if you need help with ballad. I've been reading before every new book. Okay, nice. I will do. So we all know that I will be reading Ballad, How to Survive as a Villain, Legend of Exorcism, Kaleidoscope of Death, but I did mention doing side reads. These side reads are going to be the stories that I just read, keep accumulating the recordings, and then one day when I'm close to being done, then I'll post them for you guys to hear. These are the things that I'm not really going to be doing a lot of sharing my thoughts on all the time and stuff like that, but just having content for you guys to listen to. Because I don't want to overwhelm myself with trying to do everything. So the side reads that I've chosen thus far are going to be Copper Coins, which is 3 books, Little Mushroom, which is 2 books, and Golden Terrace, which is also 2 books. And I've left room for like 1 or 2 more, depending on the amount of books in the series. I've left room for, I don't know, even maybe a fan fiction or who knows, something like that. But yeah, the first thing that will be the side read, like while I'm reading Ballad, and probably I think going into How to Survive as a Villain, will be Copper Coins. So you said also enjoy everyone. I'm gonna switch to headphones and head out to a pub quiz. Cool. So these are the 3 side reads we're doing. And remember, like all of these series are still being published as we go along. So the schedule for next year is really full. You know, I know like people are like, oh, can you read this or can you read that? And I'm like, I don't know when. Because 2026 is full. It's full. So good luck. Yes, good luck. Okay, after these 2 slices, I think I'm good and we can start reading. So the last thing I want to say is something I'm thinking about for next year because I don't have the money for it right now. But I have started doing the waiting room thing, just to go ahead and like log into a live session 15 minutes earlier than when we actually start doing things, just to give time to troubleshoot in case something goes wrong and I have to do another link. But also just to give people time to be notified, like, oh, a live session is on, let me join. So that's 15 minutes wait time. But what I want to do, instead of just having like the image up that says, welcome to the waiting room, I actually would like to have not necessarily a contest or anything like that, but if you guys or anyone you know does like animatics or animations of any kind, or just, you know, some kind of graphic moving thing, I would like to have that. Obviously, you don't have to create a 15-minute thing. It could literally be just like 3 or 4 minutes and I can put it on a loop. But I want to support my artists out here that are on my actual channel and use that as my waiting room like thing. And I don't know, whoever gets chosen, I'll definitely converse with you as far as like payment and stuff like that, because I don't want anyone to have to do something for free. So that's something I'm looking for in the new year. So if you're interested, just let me know or be on the lookout, because I really, really want to do that. So now that I've said all of that, let me get this pulled up. Okay. Oopsie, come back. Okay, there we are. I'm just gonna make my screen tiny whiny. Put this here. All right, so you guys ready to read? Now, I hope you got enough food in your systems, because we are about to read one of my, you said, what are we doing now? I'm here for a little while. We are about to read. Remember I said that there was a surprise fanfic reading. This is the last thing we're doing for the day. Um, and I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are excited because this is literally my all-time favorite SVSSS, or the Scum Villains Self-Saving System, Ranjia Fanpai Zijushi Tong by MXTX fanfic ever. You said you're glad you made it in time. Yay! This is literally the best one. Honestly, out of all the Danmei fan fiction I've read in total, I would say that this is my second favorite, just in general. Maybe my first favorite? Second? First? I don't know. No Pass Around is pretty good. And I'm talking about Danmei fan fiction only, not other fan fiction. So this one, I will be sharing my screen with you guys so we can read along. Let's see. So you said excited. This is my introduction to Danmei fanfic. Oh yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. So I had messaged the author and was like, "Hey, can I please read this?" And they said yes. So I was like, "Yay!" I was glad they responded in time, and I believe I have it pinned already. But that might be it. No, that the snow paths are bound pinned. So here is the pin, the website, the link directly to the fanfic if you would like to read along. He said, "I love this fic." I know, right? So good. So if you want to read along, you are more than welcome to look at the screen, or you can pull it up however you want to do that. But we're going to get into it. We're just reading the first chapter, okay? That's it. So I am going to go ahead and just like go through a little bit of the information first, and then we'll get started. So of course we have well, I'll read this here because it's easier for me. How to Train Your Shen Qingqiu by Danmei_KJ. So the summary of this is what the protagonist of a stallion novel wants, he will get. Never did Shen Qingqiu expect the protagonist's golden halo to extend to dimension hopping. And when the original Luobingke invades their dimension once more, he asks the impossible of the transmigrated Shitsuan. How to make a lovable Shen Qingqiu? Which part of Shen Qingqiu looks lovable to you? Protag, you must be blind. System, fix this bug. Ah. So, it is 495,405 words and 80 chapters of pure goodness and madness. I'm also going to read the little notes here just because I feel like they're important for you guys to see as well. So we have spoilers abound. Turn back if you don't want spoilers, which I think is pretty tame, obviously, in the first chapter. But if you want to continue reading and you haven't finished Scum Villain, you should probably finish Scum Villain. So, despite the title, this is not going to be all fluff and sunshine. I have absolutely no idea how this is going to turn out. I just think Shunju deserves happiness. Binga also deserves a loving Shitsuan. And even though he may have fallen for Shen Yuan version instead, I think he has quite the potential chemistry with Shunju as well. Cross-dimension dialogue might become a thing, with Shunju-Shen Yuan interaction in the future to fulfill those sibling cravings. Shunju's personality would shift quite a bit, being less scummy, but I believe canon provided enough hints that he wasn't quite a scum to begin with, even if he has an originally nasty personality. Someone who can't abandon his senior who went to help others despite being against the idea? You can't tell me that's scum personality, but I'll try to keep it as close to canon as possible. 90% of the story is based on facts regarding Shunju, and I've only MTL'd the chapters revolving the past. So this story can be considered a huge spoiler, so turn back if you're still waiting for updates. My MTL skills are not great either, so once the translation comes out, I will revisit and revise chapters if there is too big a discrepancy. Full reading of Scum Villain main chapters plus the extras is highly recommended before starting on this series. I might not continue it if the story deviates too much. but they definitely continued. It's complete. So now let's go ahead and read. Just to point out as well, conversation is going to be in the standard quotation marks. If it's thoughts, it's just going to be the singular quote, and the system is going to be in these brackets. So we can get started with chapter 1. Chapter 1, Death of Shen Qingqiu. Okay. Ever since the original Luobingke left them in peace, Shen Qingqiu had never thought he would return. When he uttered that "come with me" to Shen Qingqiu and abruptly went away, he sincerely hoped whatever whim that drove him to say that had been pacified. Back then, he had not given it much thought, but after the situation calmed down, Shen Qingqiu pondered on the words the original had uttered. The way he said it, if Shen Qingqiu had been the clueless reader standing from an observer's standpoint, he would have assumed Luobingke wanted another copy of his vengeance to take out his frustrations on. However, the slightest hint of desperation that tinted his words reminded him too much of his own Bingke. It made Shen Qingqiu wonder how the original Luobingke saw Shen Qingqiu, or if he had to separate it from himself, Shen Jiu. When he was young, he indeed had a sliver of respect for his master and perhaps a shred of hope since he picked Luobingke to be his disciple. Shen Qingqiu also knew from his own experience that Luobingke remembered all the good deeds done to him as well as, perhaps, even better than the bad ones done to him. Suddenly, he wondered why he was thinking of all this and decided for his mental health that it was better he did not look too much into it. His husband was away at the main palace running his usual affairs. Shen Qingqiu got up from his seat from within the bamboo house. Being spoiled silly with Luobingke's cooking, Shen Qingqiu would risk becoming a typical plump housewife if he wasn't careful. He stepped out to take a walk just to see a rift slowly opening mid-air, and immediately Shen Qingqiu got onto his sword and sped away on reflex. Luobingke no longer used the Xinmo sword, which meant only one thing. As he sped toward the palace, Shen Qingqiu could see Luobingke rushing towards him from the other side. Immediately, the partners came together, and Luobingke took a quick glance over his wife before asking, "Did he do anything to you?" The demon lord must have sensed the disturbance caused by Xinmo's sword and came to the same conclusion as Shen Qingqiu did. Shen Qingqiu was about to answer when Luobingke narrowed his eyes and hid him behind his own body. From where Shen Qingqiu just came from, a silhouette very similar to the one right before his eyes slowly sauntered closer. Wearing that ever-irritating smirk on his face, the original Luobingke had invaded their world once more. I need to drink water. 1 second. System. Can you explain this? Shen Qingqiu's heart could not take it if Luobingke could just come to their world whenever he felt like it. Essentially, when the latter probably still had Shenju in human stick form somewhere in his own world. Key item of the original setting has overcome dimensional barrier. This is not a bug within the system. Is there a way to stop this? Destruction of key item is an option. However, the destruction of key item is recommended after restoring every person to their original dimension. They were officially screwed. If they did it the system way, that meant they'd have to first send Luobingke back to his side and steal the Xinmo sword to destroy it. Luobingke of this dimension could not control the Xinmo sword as well, so that was also an existing risk. That meant they had to steal it to come back to their own world if they ever fell into the other one while battling the original. Shizun, I came to see you again. The original was able to sense the tension coursing through the air and seemed to revel in it. Luobingke was ready to fight him if need be, but Shen Qingqiu restrained him by putting a hand on his upper arm. His calm facade never changing, the fan was open and concealed most of his expression. To what do I owe the honors, Luobingke? Well, The only person I've ever known to be more intelligent is Shutsuin, so I came to seek your advice. More intelligent than whom? Shang Qingqiu did not need to ask. Lord Bingke was naturally a bright child. He'd be honored to have been acknowledged to be more intelligent than his disciple was if it wasn't the fact that Lord Bingke seemed to have malicious intentions for him. Shang Qingqiu did not interrupt, prompting the original to continue. He drew out a patch from his sleeves, which Shang Qingqiu recognized as a minor spirit tool. The original novel introduced a lot of tools which, due to the poor plot, never properly saw the light of day. He only knew by sight that it was a spirit pouch, specifically designed to hold souls. Upon realizing that, a growing dread began to numb Shang Qingqiu's senses because he suddenly had an epiphany regarding the soul inside that pouch. Shitsun, tell me, how can I make it so that this Shang Qingqiu can become as lovable and obedient? This Shang Qingqiu that the original Luo Bingke referred to was obviously what he was merely twirling in his hands. Understanding the implications, the Luo Bingke of this world grew dangerously angry. You killed Shitsun? Shang Qingqiu had heard that when Luo Bingke was over in the other world, he could not find the other Shang Qingqiu. If it wasn't his if it wasn't, sorry, even if it wasn't his Shitsun, Luo Bingke had been concerned. It was only natural that he could not believe that his alternate self could have murdered Shang Qingqiu. To have myself, of all people, wrapped around your little finger, this disciple is amazed at what the Shitsun of this world is capable of. Answer me! Did you kill Shitsun? Luo Bingke roared, to which the original coolly scoffed at this unsightly version of himself. Taunting him by tossing the spirit pouch casually into the air, the original Luo Bingke answered, had you encountered this Shang Qingqiu, you would be spitting on the one next to you in rage. Shang Qingqiu had no words to say. After all, he knew what a scum the original was, and he had spent the earlier part of his transmigration here terrified that he'd be killed by Luo Binghe. However, ever since he got to know almost the entirety of Shangju's past, Shang Qingqiu sympathized with him. Airplane Bro had actually done a very good job in creating this complex character for a villain role, which made it even more miserable that he discarded the possibilities Shunju had just to chase the popularity a single-dimension stallion novel offered. Especially after he heard of what Shunju did for Liu Qingge from Shang Qinghua in one of their conversations. Shang Qingqiu could not help but wonder if that small speck of kindness was what Yue Qingyuan saw in Shunju. This master needs time to consider. Give me 4 hours. 2 hours. God damn it. You want a solution, but you won't give me the time to think. The blackened protagonist is really no joke. Shang Qingqiu looked around their surroundings. It would not do if any of the underlings happened to see the two Luo Binghe and do something rash. Gesturing the original to follow, he took his Luo Binghe's hand into his hand and led him back to the bamboo house. His husband bristled when Shang Qingqiu allowed the original to enter the house, and it took some time to coax Luo Binghe that it was advisable to keep them both out of sight at the moment. Binghe, watch our guest. This master will have to contemplate his options. Shutsuin, call me if you need this disciple. I will. Shang Qingqiu went to the smaller room at the side and immediately brought up the system. System, is this another mission? The alternate dimension is not under the current system administration. However, the system may adapt to environmental changes and process current events as a sequence of missions. Which is better, letting things run as is or having the system handle this? In the first place, how can being good even come here so often? Knowledge is the forbidden fruit. Once tasted, they cannot forget. The alternate Luo Binghe has now added dimension skipping to his skills. To the earlier inquiry, no goal objectives are set and there will be no rewards. Under system administration, the alternate identities can be tentatively registered as a mission NPC. This will allow the system to understand the goal of the NPC and reward the account accordingly after mission objective is achieved. Setting up mission objectives would be terribly restrictive, but given the fact that Shen Qingqiu knew almost next to nothing about the real reason Luo Binghe was doing this, it seemed more reasonable for once to let the system sort it out. He tapped his fan thoughtfully against his temple, wondering how far the system's administration could reach if he asked it to tackle the issue at hand. System, how much can you tell me about the alternate Shen Qingqiu? Like, how he died? As much as he'd like to fulfill Luo Binghe's desires to make him leave, he felt any further punishment to Shen Qingqiu was overdoing it. The poor man has died once. He didn't want to subject the original to further torment if possible. Information access restricted. Tentative contract must be formed for system access. Proceed with system contract. Shen Qingqiu paused for a while. It was a shitty system that never performed up to standards, but it was also a tool that no one except Shen Yuan could access. A little hesitant, he approved the proceedings for the tentative contract. The system immediately completed the task at hand, sending out a musical tone to indicate it was now able to access the alternate's information, albeit limited to the only two alternate beings currently in this dimension. Shen Qingqiu data reading completed. Would you like to review and patch current data pack for Shenju? During his altercation with the sect leader, Shen Qingqiu learned a lot about Shenju, and accordingly, his data was already completely unlocked. If there was an update, then he would like to see it. Having already seen a huge chunk of the original's past, he was already wary of the potential misery, but nothing had prepared Shen Qingqiu to be dragged into darkness. For a seamless experience, System has initiated Small Scenario Pusher Deluxe Edition. Please fully enjoy the original's memories. What the fuck? I didn't ask for extra service, System. The rush of images and the familiar dreamscape almost overwhelmed Shen Qingqiu, and the only saving grace was that the memories were viewed from a third-person point of view. If Shen Qingqiu had to synchronize with the original, he would have died from the fear and pain. Shen Qingqiu had simply died from excessive bleeding. Ironically, it was not Luo Binghe who caused his death. He was far too careful in ensuring Shen Qingqiu's prolonged misery. It had been Ning Yingying who dealt the killing blow. Whether out of hatred or pity, Shen Yuan would never know. Finally seeing the confrontation between Shenju and Yueqi, he almost shed many tears for the misunderstandings between the original Shen Qingqiu and Yue Qingyuan. Yue Qingyuan had disappointed Shenju, but he had his reasons. Reasons which it seemed he never revealed to Shenju to the end. Unlike in this world, where their sect leader had told Shen Yuan everything, Shen Yuan almost wanted to curse, but at the same time, he understood the way Yue Qingyuan and Shenju operated. What's done is done. Whatever reasons there were, it would only sound like excuses. Shenju's pride could not tolerate that, and Yue Qingyuan probably thought no reason would be able to justify his failure to rescue Shenju. Ah, fuck. The lack of communication literally killed everyone. God, to think I almost went down that road. His Binghe's insecurities grew because Shen Yuan tried so hard to avoid confrontation and never really talked to him. It was now a small regret of his, and probably why Shen Qingqiu tried harder to communicate with him now. The abused becomes the abuser, and the cycle continues. I thought this was a stallion novel, not a drama on trauma. Fuck. The story would have been so complex and interesting if Shenju's background was fully incorporated. But Airplane Bro was right. For a stallion novel, it would be like an extra 500 chapters to fully integrate, and the readers can't wait that long for a villain character. Damn, I hate admitting his plot trimming was right. He should have written something with Shenju as the main character in a novel that isn't of the stallion genre. Shang Qinghua's taste in literary genre aside, Shen Qingqiu was in quite a pickle now. Shenju was a scum who caused many deaths and deserved death. But he was human as well. He tried to save Yue Qingyuan, and had really saved Liu Qingge without ever letting anyone know. How awkward could a man's personality be? Someone call the social services. Someone sue Airplane Bowl for not for giving children such miserable and painful pasts. System, won't any advice I give affect the other world? Is that permissible? The alternate world plot has reached an end with the absence of the author. At this point, plot divergence is now acceptable as a new game plus. The last I checked, this was a stallion novel with shitty plot, not a Gall game. What do you mean by new game plus? You don't mean the original can wipe the slate clean and start over, do you? The key item is capable of achieving such objective. Shang Qingqiu paused at the unexpected answer. It wasn't too long before he understood the system's words. Shinmo's sword was capable of crossing dimensions like this. If they had to explore the meta science of the ability, Shang Qingqiu, who had the experience of reading countless novels, could easily assume that crossing the dimension of time was possible as well. That meant technically, Luo Bingke could go redo the past, but that was a dangerous gamble, and one Shang Qingqiu was not sure if he could suggest. System, what is the objective of the original? System evaluation of the alternate Luo Binghe can read surface desire only. He desires the revival of Shang Qingqiu. Mission goal is to provide Luo Binghe the answer to his desire. He said he wanted a lovable and obedient Shitsuan. Even if by some miracle Shunju's personality develops for the better, obedient is the last word I'd associate with him. Hell, even I won't take things lying down from Binghe. The boy must be hallucinating some things when he saw us. I can't even guarantee this. Character growth is outside the parameters allowed by the current tentative contract. This account's mission is only to provide Luo Binghe with a method to bring back Shang Qingqiu. There are no penalties, right? As long as I give him some suggestions about how to bring Shangju back. No penalties for the system. 1 second, sorry. Whew. Okay, continuing. But the same cannot be said if the original if he was unsatisfied with the answers. Shang Qingqiu wanted to tear out his hair. In the first place, Shunju's past was what gave him his miserable personality. If he didn't get a complete overhaul, the original Luo Binghe was not going to get what he wanted. Shang Qingqiu suspected that even if they did, by some miracle, help Shunju get out of his traumatic past, he wouldn't turn out lovable and obedient. Tolerable human, possibly, but Shen Yuan dare not make any promises. He thought long and hard until his 2 hours were up, before making up his mind with a heavy heart. He had to be frank with Binge if he wanted to get the message across. I'm going to read your comment. You said, he's not wrong, and I love how it plays out. Absolutely. Luo Bingke had silently watched his alternate version sit at the table quietly, toying with the pouch in his hand. They did not bother speaking to one another, but Luo Bingke had his own questions. His alternate hated Shang Qingqiu enough to kill him. Thinking of the long gone past, Luo Bingke felt that Shang Qingqiu had been mean to him before, but that had always been for his sake. Was it possible that in the alternate world, Shang Qingqiu's actions escalated to a point that this Luo Bingke could not tolerate? And yet, he came to ask Shang Qingqiu how he could make the soul he held as lovable and obedient. Luo Bingke scoffed inwardly. Even though they were the same person, it seems that his alternate did not understand the man Shang Qingqiu is. His Shitsuan was neither lovable nor obedient. Okay. At least, Shang Qingqiu only revealed his truly lovable side when they were in bed. Other times, his Shitsuan was an aloof man, cool and distant. But his heart was truly warm and caring, and that was who Luo Bingke fell in love with. The 2 hours were spent in silence until Shang Qingqiu returned from the side room, looking slightly grimmer than his usual calm expression. The man sat next to Luo Binghe, eyes trained upon the alternate. Before this master can tell you anything, perhaps you would bother to explain the reason you're doing this. If the reason isn't to Shutsun's liking, Bingo was testing his waters, but Shang Qingqiu knew with his crafty mind, once they started mind games, there would be no end to it. His fan never wavering before the alternate, he coolly answered, "This master's preferences does not matter in this. If you cannot give an honest reply, how can this master answer?" Alternate Luo Bingke, whom Shang Qingqiu secretly nicknamed Binge, laughed in return. It seems he too did not want to waste time with beating around the bush. Thus he spoke frankly, a little too frankly perhaps. "I didn't intend to have Shang Qingqiu die so early, so I want him back." So, the system was right about his primary objective. "It is not in this master's place to say, but whatever you have done to Shang Qingqiu, isn't it enough?" "Shitsun, you said your preference doesn't matter. What does it mean to you what I intend to do with this Shang Qingqiu? Do you intend to become the same as Shang Qingqiu, as cruel and miserable?" It was a low blow, but it certainly caught Binge's attention. Shang Qingqiu knew that comparing him to his most hated enemy was like treading through a path filled with landmines. But he was not without his calculations. He pressed on, continuing, "Vengeance of the wronged. This master understands. But the man is already dead. Why should you hope to bring him back to torment him further? If even his death cannot pacify you, will continued retribution quench that thirst? What do you know? I won't be satisfied until he stops with those eyes, those defiant eyes." Binka suddenly snarled. His friendly pretenses dropped. Luo Binghe's fists immediately tightened under the table, but Shang Qingqiu wrapped a hand around his. He looked fearlessly toward the alternate, having received his response. "So you want Shang Qingqiu to succumb to you? You would give him the gift of death if he admitted defeat, or to admit that he was wrong for doing whatever he did to you?" Shang Qingqiu's words seemed to have struck a chord with Binga, but his murderous gaze did not let up. "You seem to know a lot for a nice master like you," he hissed. But Shang Qingqiu had an answer planned for that already. "You bring this master a dead man's soul to be revived, to put him through more pain. One can guess as much that he has grievously wronged you somehow. As for Shang Qingqiu's behavior, this master may be more docile, but I am Shang Qingqiu. How he would act, this master can at least guess." He bluffed as he went along. Even if there was no evidence that he transmigrated and replaced the original of this dimension, Shen Yuan could not let them know he was not Shen Jiu. Sorry. "You underestimate how well Shang Qingqiu understands his own actions. Whatever he has done wrong, this master can guess he was quite aware. Therefore, your vengeance was perhaps to him well deserved. He will not bother explaining himself, only silently endure his karma." "Shutsun." Luo Binghe's expression was slightly pained, holding Shang Qingqiu's hand tightly underneath the table. Shang Qingqiu wondered if it was some sort of irony, as he too had times when he did not bother to explain himself like Shanju. The moment he pushed Luo Binghe into the abyss was a huge example of this habit. Again, it is not this master's place to say this, but Shang Qingqiu has already suffered more than enough. Would you not spare him? This was a sincere plea. Shang Qingqiu knew almost the entirety of Shunju's life now. He experienced nothing but pain from his foster family to falling to falling under a toxic master, to leading a miserable life formed by his own twisted life experiences and spiraled into a prolonged torture, ended by slowly bleeding to death. Shunju really had nothing going for him. Maybe that was also why he felt nothing being tortured by Luo Binghe. He had nothing to lose. At least at the end of the road, Luo Binghe had a harem of over 600 beauties and power to rule the world. Suffered enough. On what accounts would you say he suffered enough? Shen Qingqiu bit back a sigh. He really did not want to do this. To reveal Shunju's past would be tantamount to murdering the proud man. He would have preferred death over letting anyone know his past. But Shen Qingqiu hoped that even with a blackened protagonist, he would still be able to appeal to whatever slightest sliver of pity Binga possessed, and hopefully let Shunju finally rest in peace. You can see into his soul's memories with your abilities in the dream realm. Take a look for yourself how Shen Qingqiu lived. Then come back and tell this master if you still want to torture the man. I can't have you run away while I go into the dream realm. I'll have you come with me, Shitsuan. I'm going too. I won't let you be with Shitsuan alone. Oh, sorry. That was the other Binghe. I'm going too. I won't let you be with Shitsuan alone. No, this master won't allow it. It wasn't that he didn't want Luo Binghe to know the original's past. Shen Qingqiu was more worried if he would feel that the current Shen Qingqiu was too unnatural once he saw how bitter and miserable Shunju's past was. But Binga only had a twisted smile of satisfaction, proclaiming, Good. Maybe then you can see for yourself what a scum Shen Qingqiu was. Everyone then fell into the darkness of the dreamscape. But Shen Qingqiu ended up in the darkness without either of the Luo Binghe, but before him stood a mirror image. You're not me. The end of chapter 1. So that is an introduction to How to Train Your Shen Qingqiu by Danmei_KJ. So it's clear that we know the original Luo Binghe has come back into the transmigrated world, and he wants to bring his deceased Shen Qingqiu back. Shen Qingqiu's only options are basically, well, in the end, he tells him, look at his memories and then let him rest in peace. So we get to the end, and clearly he's looking at himself in the mirror. Shen Yuan has met the original Shen Qingqiu. He says, you're not me. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. 1 second. So that is just a little taste of it. It is, honestly, I'm trying to remember when I read this. I don't really think there was any chapter that I read and I was just like, can I move on? I mean, there may have been, because I feel like all stories have it. But this fanfic is so freaking good. Rubies, you said that you're not me. What a cliff. I know. Perfect cliffhanger. When I saw it, I was like, yes, this is the perfect cliffhanger. So I hope you all enjoyed the reading of that chapter. It's extremely good. I highly recommend it if you've already read SVSSS. For those of you on Patreon who will be reading SVSSS for the month of December, and then I think like the first 1 or 2 days of January, if you want to continue the story, I highly recommend this one, because this fanfic it's not a retelling of SVSSS. It is like a continuation. And given that it is almost 500,000 words, that's basically like 4 to 5 more books, essentially. So, I mean, when I put it in my list for books that I read, I think I counted it as 4 books, because I was like, it's basically the equivalent, maybe even a little bit, a lot of bit more actually. But yes, it really does give you that closure, because if there's one thing I felt when I read the original story, I really did feel bad for the original Shen Qingqiu, because he was misunderstood. Did he do some bad things? He absolutely did. But, still, he was not a bad guy. So this gives you like the closure you're looking for both the original Shen Qingqiu and the original Luo Binghe, because I wanted the original Luo Binghe to have a happy ending as well, especially after that extra when he said to Shen Yuan, come with me. I was like, oh my God. So So you said, "Oh, did you hear about the new shorts?" If you're referring to MXTX making, I guess, releasing some more chapters, yeah, we actually talked about that in the beginning. I'm probably not going to read them just because I don't know, it's 10 years later. Like there were things that I want to answer when I read it. Not that it's been 10 years, but I'm satisfied with where the story ended. And I just read a bunch of fan fiction. So I didn't really care to know that she wrote more after spending so much time like away from SBSSS. You said you missed that talk. Oh, it's totally fine. But I don't know, like spending so much time away from the story and then coming back to it to add things, I just kind of wasn't feeling that. And from other people that I've talked to, they said it just feels like she wrote fan fiction, essentially. And I mean, if I want to read fan fiction, then I'm just going to head over to AO3 to read fan fiction. But I know a lot of people mentioned that, like, a lot of the things that she put in it were already written in fan fiction. So I don't really have an interest in reading it. I do have it. So I just don't know. It depends on how I feel once I'm done reading book 4 of SBSSS. But like I told everybody, I'm probably just going to listen to Kictor because I know that Kictor did it. I don't see myself reading it for you guys. Yeah, just not feeling, I'm not going to do all that. So yes, but this is a good canon. Would it be, is it canon divergence? I think going forward. Um, just it's the story after the story. And I think it's written absolutely beautifully. And you get to see the original Shen Qingqiu in his shoes. You know, like he doesn't become Shen Yuan. He's still his gripey, mean self, but in a way that you grow to love. Like honestly, there are scenes I'm thinking about now, and I'm just like, oh, that was so good. I remember that. Like I don't know. Now I'm starting to want to read this again too, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and it's been wonderful just reading all things with you. Um, sorry, I had to put something in my mouth. I've truly enjoyed my Danmei channel. I'm excited for where it's gonna go. Um, funny story, but on like the first few nights when I got this cold or whatever it is, it was really difficult for me to sleep because my adenomyosis was also flaring up. But like I told my husband, since like Monday or Sunday or Monday, I haven't felt anything in my ovaries at all. I was like, it's like the adenomyosis just disappeared. I was like, wouldn't that be cool if this is COVID or whatever sickness it is, just like somehow my body chemistry was like beep boop boop beep boop, and now the adenomyosis is gone. That would be great because then I wouldn't need surgery. Anyway, just the funny story. So, yes, we have played our games and stuff. Oh, NFS, are you still here? I need to know if you're still here because Anne and Freya, I know you guys are already on. Um, you guys are already on my Patreon. So that's easy, but you're not. And I want to give you your free month, but you're going to have to email me the Mari Chan one. I'm typing with one hand at gmail.com so that I can actually no, you've emailed me fan art. So I can send you an email. Oh no, well, just to make sure I send it to the right person. So yeah, the Marichan1 at gmail.com. So that way I can send you the gift. And for those of you on Patreon that won earlier, and Freya, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Harley Ritu. Harley, I just need to know like your actual name on Patreon. I'll reach out to you guys when it's getting closer to the month in which you have like your subscription will renew, because you can't redeem any gifts when you're a Patreon subscriber. So before your month comes up, you'll have to cancel, redeem the gift, and then I think in redeeming the gift, you can choose to continue after, and we'll do it that way. You said, what I've heard about those shorts, I thought they were changes and I was happy I might become a fan of SVSSS, and then my friends started crying. It would be a whole new novel, and now I think it's true. So there were some rumors going around that it was going to be a whole new thing, which was what I heard first. So I think that was the more upsetting thing. I was like, why are we changing it? But it was to my understanding that it was just those chapters, that she's not rewriting SVSSS. So I don't think we have to worry about that. And I don't know. I mean, MXTX fans, the like her for real fans, they be like worshiping everything she does. But I feel like people would be a bit upset if she completely rewrote SVSSS just like altogether, because we have the perfect story as is, perfect. You know, like it don't need to change. I don't think. I love it the way it is. So that's that. But yeah, you said just add answers to Shunju and system. Yeah. Yeah, there's really no need to change the story. Just settling some unresolved things. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, thank you all so much for being here with me. This has been really fun. You said if she rewrite it, I would be upset. I love the story. Right? The story is golden. It's so golden. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And sometimes that's not the good mindset to go by. Like, some things aren't broken, but they could be better. But like, this is a masterpiece. Please don't do anything to it. And I ordered the hardcover set. And I don't need nothing done to it. Please don't. So, uh, mm, yeah, that's crazy. Dang. Um, so, that's pretty much it. You said it got me into Reincarnate as a Villain. Still haven't read that. Mm, I'm sorry, I'm just eating in front of y'all like this. I'm hungry. So, you also love changes because it feels like reading my favorite book second time. Actually, that. Yeah, she did. And people were all over it. But I don't know if. I don't think those revised copies are being sold though. I think they're just on like JJWX or whatever the site is. And then people, of course, are getting it from sources. But I don't know that the revised version is being sold or in the works to be sold. Huh. The live action that we haven't gotten, that we probably never will get. So, exactly. But yes, thank you all so much for being here. For those of you who have stuck around since the beginning of this live session, those of you who came late, I don't care when you came. I just thank you for being here. Thank you all for being subscribers to my channel and making the YouTube possible, as well as making the Patreon possible. Oh my gosh. Um, this has been a very, very fun day. I don't even want to imagine in America. You're gonna make me die. I don't want to imagine an American version. Oh my god. God no. Oh no. So I hope you guys have a great day and or night. I do need to go rest my voice now because this is the most talking I've done in a minute. Um so yeah. Look out Patreon, because I will be sending a message as far as when we do our lives for the month of December. There'll be live readings, of course. So He said, we appreciate you doing this. Oh, bye, Freya. Thank you so much. How's mine? Thank you as well for all your hard work and passionate reading. You're welcome, Gloritinha. Have a good day. Get some good rest. Drink some herbal tea. I have been. He said bye-bye. Yes. Bye, you guys. Nova says bye. Atlas says bye. Nebu says bye. You say, yay, Mari. You are a Danmei hero on YouTube. Yay! I love you guys so much. And I will see you all next time. So bye-bye. And